Yeah, well, sorry about the cutoff earlier. But had handyman came up to fix the stove, and that's right above my head, slightly, so there'll been a lot of noise. So let's get back into the show. Not to worry, Mask of Truth. We're in a team battle right now. We just got done beating up a little bit of Oh, does he have zone control? No. I had him under zone control. Yeah, go after him. So you're gonna do... Well, you only did one. Good. Good. How should I do this? That's not gonna do anything. He's gonna dodge them all. Which is a little weird, but oh well. But I do more damage from long range. Should I? Or should I just have her concentrate on healing? I think it's best I just have her concentrate on healing. You're not gonna get through on her. Let's get her. I missed that. Drawn blade stance. And now she's earth favored. But she's not gonna get 2 attacks off, that's all. That's a co-op. Should I do that? No, let's do that. She's getting her jollies after finally getting the beat up Munichika. And she heals, yeah. Well, let's see. Bring you down here. Let's just attack him. Yeah, let's just get rid of you. Yeah, he needs to disappear. And then we heal you. Actually, let's do that heal. Ah, too fast on that one. I defended all that. Actually, I have never done final strike with you. She's fluting. Cool. And oh, I forgot. I did this final strike with this one before, but on the other side didn't have the flute. Kokobo, Kokobo, you're flying! And then blump. Kokobo, maybe you should lose some weight. And he's gonna do a second attack. And a co-op. Oof. Ouch. And he leveled up. That was one thing I was a little worried. Unjo Raihen has been strengthened. Your life ends here. Be consumed by the Inferno. I think it's also got the final strike version. Yeah. Now then, I'll have to ask you to disappear. Not to worry, your life will further my own strength. She's gonna counter, but that's alright. Get used up her physical. Yeah. I should have healed, maybe. But he should come back with full life. Well, he didn't take as much damage as I thought he would. No, let's just heal up. Okay, good. You're far away. That's all I really care. Did he heal up too? Let's just heal you up. I should probably not have done that last one. Ah, whatever. I could have gotten a favor. And do the full damage. Damn it. And now he's wind favored. Yeah. Don't do the final strike, please. Ah. And do as much damage as it. I'm just slow on uptake today. I'm willing to do this. Take some. Ooh, she died. Escaping death. I did not expect that, actually. Yeah, let's come over here and start beating you up. Fire favor. This is the whim of fate. Now witness the dance of flowers, a summon to death. You're mine. 1, 2, 3. Dance for me as the petals fall from the flower of life. That gets rid of her. Or the twins. And he disappears too, because his source is gone. And I just messed that up. Oh, we did win against him. Okay, you get to come over here. Too early. And now let's heal you. Just heal it. Oh, it does. Damn. That's not what I wanted. Because he's gonna heal too. Damn it. least he's got his attack down now. Fine will. Dance is my parting gift to you, this dance. One more. You shall join the dance. Though admittedly, I cannot say it's much of a gift. Um.
腰が入ってません。私に続いて。まずは目の前の敵ね。最善を尽くします。私に任せるがいい。いい的だな。
Can't dodge your sister.
やりますね。障害を排除します。
And you went after her.
焼け焦げなさい。
That was what I was a little worried about, but
しまいです。
sorry.
ここは慎重に行くです。着火。
Should have just pulled her back. I'm dazed. Or he's dazed.
まずは目の前の敵ね。獲物はどこだ？一番だ。追撃だ。渾身の一撃。あとはお任せします。
And we won.
どうだ？義なる者が破れることはない。
Okay, end the Mac battle. Let's. There should have been some BP. Yep. You get your second one. Let's see. Get that. That. You're still going. You can now do that. You're still going for points, You can get a bunch more of that. You're going for points for the equipment. Okay. Let's go on with the story. Hallway. Several days after we return from Nagaku, as I head to Kone's room to discuss our stock of medical supplies, Nico calls out to me in the hallway.
兄様、姉様のところに行くですか？
Dear brother, are you going to visit dear sister? Yes, I have business to discuss with her.
それなら今日はやめておいた方が。姉様、少し具合が悪くなって横になっているですから。
If that is so, you may wish to come back another time. Dear sister seems ill at the moment and is resting in bed. Ill? Is she alright?
ただの風邪だから少し横になれば良くなると言ってたですが。
She said it was merely a cold, so she should recover if she rests properly.
多分、ナ国から戻って姉様も安心したのです。ずっと気を張っていたですから。
Perhaps now that we are out of danger, dear sister's stress from Nagaku caught up with her. It was quite a demanding campaign after all. Now that I think about it, she wasn't looking too good last night either. She was more flushed than usual, and she was trying to control a persistent cough.
お仕事が一段落したので、ちょっと様子を見に行ってくるです。何かことづてはあるですか？
I have finished my work for now, so I was on my way to visit her myself. Would you like me to relay a message on your behalf? No. If that is the case, I believe I shall accompany you.
兄様もですか？ですが、もし兄様に移ったりしたら。
You will, but if you catch a cold as well, you need not worry about such things. And besides, I cannot have her holding a grudge against me for refusing to visit her bedside. I tousled Nico's hair slightly. Bones actually caught a cold. Next thing you know, tennis will fly. Sounds more like she's just spent too long cooling down after a bath. I can't pass up a chance to see her in a rare state like this.
失礼しますです。
Excuse me. Cone, how are you feeling?
あら、オストル様。お見
Oh,
舞いに来てくれたんですね。
oh, Sir Oster, you came to visit? Eek! And the moment I enter the room, thunk, a basin full of water flies straight at my face. Oh, she must be naked, or half naked.
兄様。
Dear brother! As my vision slowly turns black, the last thing I see is an image of Cone's pale, bare back. I wipe off my drenched hair as I sit at Cone's bedside. It appears she's wrapped herself in her blanket, facing coldly away from me.
もうクーちゃん、せっかくお見舞いにいらしてくださったのに。
Oh, Koo, you shouldn't act like that towards guests. They came all this way to visit you.
姉様、ごめんなさいです。
Dear sister, I am sorry.
猫ねのせいじゃないかな。ちょっとびっくりしちゃって。
No, it's not your fault, Nico. I was just a little surprised, I suppose. Geez, is she ever going to think of the guy who has to endure those little surprises? You seem to be doing much better than I expected. At this rate, I expect a full recovery soon.
誰かのおかげで熱が上がりそうだけど。
Well, I'm pretty sure my fever just went up thanks to a certain someone. Achoo!
ほら、まだ治っていないんだから、無理しちゃめですよ。
Come now, you still aren't better yet. You mustn't exert yourself like that, alright?
のぼせたからって裸のまま寝ちゃったりするからです。いつまでも子供なんだから。
Even if you spend too long in a hot bath, you really mustn't sleep in a nude, or this is bound to happen. You're still such a child. So I was right.
姉様？
Dear sister?
ちょっと、フミリル、内緒にって。
What? Uriel, I thought I told you not to tell any... Cough, cough, cough.
さあさあ、わかりましたから、横になってください。
Alright, alright. I heard you the first time. Now, lie down and rest.
猫ちゃん、新しく水を汲んできますから、しばらくクーちゃんをお願いしてもいいですか？
Nico, Could I ask you to watch Ku for a bit while I get some more water?
はいです。
Oh, yes, of course.
ごめんね、フミリル。
I'm sorry about this, Fumuro.
クーちゃん、病気の時くらい周りに甘えてね。それではオシトル様、クーちゃんもお願いします。
Ku, it's fine to rely on others when you're not feeling well. Lord Oster, if you could watch Ku while I'm gone as well. Fumuro picks up the empty basin and leaves the room.
姉様、具合はどうですか？
Just, dear sister, how are you feeling?
大丈夫だよ。この通り起き上がってって、あれ
I'm fine, really. See, I can get up just by. Huh?
姉様
Dear sister.
ほんと、大丈夫だから。ちょっと、めまいというか。
Really, I'm fine. I just felt a little dizzy.
姉様、無理しちゃダメなのです。
Dear sister, you really should not be pushing yourself like this.
もう平気だって言ってるのに。
I'm telling you, I'm fine. She says that, but she still looks flush, like she has a fever. And normally, Cone would do a lot more than chuck a bucket at me. Apothecary, heal thyself, wouldn't you say? With your medical knowledge, you should know that the rest will be the swiftest cure now.
言い返せない。
What can I say to that?
兄様の言う通りなのです。あまり無理をして、兄様の時みたいに。
Dear brother is right. If you exert yourself too much, you could end up like dear brother did.
姉様が倒れたまま、そのまま。
If you never get up again and you... Nico's face falls as she trails off.
猫ね。
Neko. Nico. Ah, crap. She must be remembering the time I was unconscious for a couple days. In any case, Cone, you need to rest.
そうだね。うん。やっぱ病人は寝てないとダメだよね。
Yes, you're right. I am sick, after all. I should be resting in bed. Cone seems to have finally accepted the idea, quickly burrowing back into her bed.
姉様。
Dear sister.
倒れたと聞いたが大丈夫か？
Cone, I heard you've fallen sick. Are you alright? As the doors are flung open, Norsey bursts into the room. Norsey, you must be more quiet.
すまない。心配だったので、ついな。
Sorry. I was just so worried. I couldn't help myself.
お邪魔します、クオンさん。お加減はいかがですか？
Pardon our intrusion, Cone. How are you feeling?
うん。本当はもう平気なんだけど。
Hey, Ogi. Hello, Ogi. I'm fine now, really.
しかし、まさかクオンが寝込むとはな。
I never expected that you'd fall ill, Cone.
寝耳になんとかとか、晴天のうんたらとか、予想のつかないことも起こるものだ。
It's a blue bolt in the blue, or it happens under a blue moon? Well, something like that. I would never have expected it. Norsey nods sagely.
ところで、風とはどんな感じなのだ？
By the way, how exactly does it feel to be sick? Huh?
私は生まれてこの方、寝込んだことがないのでな。どういう感じなのか教えてくれないか？
I've actually never been sick in my life. If you don't mind, I'm kind of curious as to how it feels. Can you describe it? That's not... How should I say it? Somewhat true, not true. Because you were sick. It was called seasickness, where you were barfing up all the time. So you were sick.
それって。
How nice for you.
どうかしたか？
Something the matter?
なんでもないかな。
No, it's nothing. As Cohen stares, a little exasperated, Dorsey continues on, obviously.
いかん、見舞いの品を忘れていた。
Oh, blast. I forgot to bring a get well present.
ああ、いいよ。そんなに気を使わないで。
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Cohen shakes her head modestly, but Dorsey once again takes a little notice, continuing on.
そういえば前に行商のものから買い付けた菓子があったな。あれはうまかったし、あれなら。
I know we brought these sweets a while back from that traveler merchant. Those were delicious. That should make a fine.
あれでしたらもうありませんが。
I'm afraid the sweets in question are gone.
何？もうないのか？
What? Already?
手に入れたその日のうちに姉上自身がお召し上がりになったり、気前よく分けてしまったではありませんか。
The very day you bought it, you enjoyed a large volume of them yourself, dear sister. You then passed the rest out with typical generosity.
あ、そうだったな。すまないクオン。また改めて持ってくることにしよう。
Ah, yes. You're right. I'm sorry, Cone. I'll bring something another time, then. She says that, but I doubt she'll remember. Once more, I hear footsteps behind me. As I turn around, I see more guests are arriving. Excuse us.
邪魔するぞ。
Yes. Yeah, excuse us.
失礼します。
Excuse me. Jacquot, Qian, and Kuru enter the room. Qian sits on Jacquot's shoulder, but as soon as she sees Cone, she clambers down and trots over to her. Have you all come to check up on Cone as well? Jacquot slides leisurely into a seat, and Kuru politely bows before finding himself a place to sit.
そんなところじゃない。特にシノノンが見舞いに行きたいって聞かなくてな。
Something like that. Yeah, Qian was pretty insistent that we drop by.
姉が風邪か？見舞いに来たぞ。
Boss lady, you got a cold? We came to visit.
シノノンちゃん、具合の悪い人にはもう少し静かにね。
Qian, you should really speak more softly when you talking to someone who isn't feeling well.
うわー、そうか。
All right.
それでクオンさん、お加減はどうですか？
How are you feeling, Cone?
受け取れ、お土産だぞ。
Take it. It's a get well present. Qian holds out a pink little flower with both hands.
かわいいお花。みんな、
Hee
ありがとう。
hee. What a cute flower. Thanks, everyone.
見舞いには花が一番だな。
Flower's the best get well present.
でも、これは木の高いところに咲く花なのです。よく取れたのです。
This type of flower only grows on tall trees, I believe. I am surprised you were able to pick it.
ま、キュールが肩車をな。
Well, Kuru gave her a lift.
俺がしてやるつもりだったんだが、シノノンのやつがキュールがいいとダダをこねるじゃない。
I was gonna do it, but Xian wouldn't take help from anyone but Kuru, yeah? Kuru manages a resigned laugh.
これできっとすぐに良くなるよ。
Now you got this? You'll be better in no time.
ありがとう、シノノン。
Thank you, Xian.
かわいいお花やな。
Hee what a cute little blossom. I didn't even notice her coming, but suddenly Audie's here, peering happily at the flower. How long has she been there?
ついさっきな。そうそう、うちもクオンはんのお見舞い持ってきたんよ。
Sorry, just got in a moment ago. Oh, and I've got a get well gift for Cone, since she's under the weather.
その代わ
A lovely vase for a lovely flower. Audie proudly hands her a sake bottle, strung with a purple string. That's a rather loose definition of lovely, isn't it?
この模様が可愛いと思うわ。
Huh? Don't you think this pattern's cute?
しかも薬入りやもん。なんともお得な花瓶やえ。
Plus, it even comes with special medicine. Quite a valuable little vase, right? I suppose medicine is one word for it.
酒は万薬の長というやないの。卵入れたら風邪にもよく効くえ。
They do say that alcohol is the best medicine. Drop an egg in there with it, and it'll fix up any cold.
そんで飲み終わったら花をさせば素敵な花瓶の出来上がりやえ。
And once the drink's all gone, you can stick a flower in it, and suddenly it's a lovely vase. Audie beams, clearly intended the gesture as purely goodwill. He means well, sure, but who gives something like this as a get well present? Knicker. Cone?
ああ、うん。ちょっと知り合いと同じことを言っていたのを思い出しちゃって。
Oh, nothing. I just remember someone I know who would say the same thing.
熱いお風呂入ってお酒飲んで寝れば何でも治るって人だったから。
She'll say all you need to stay healthy is a hot bath, a strong drink, and a long night's sleep. Wary chuckle escapes her.
ダメなのです。お酒は許可できないのです。
I cannot allow it. She will not have any alcohol while in this condition.
おやや、そうけ。
Oh, really? Or Pits? Oh, Pits. Really? Audie's faces droops.
ありがとう。気持ちだけ受け取っとくね。
Thank you, though. I do appreciate the gesture.
どういたしまして。
You're very welcome.
失礼しません。
Excuse me. Ruthie and Moonchika let themselves in quietly.
お加減はどうか。
How fare you?
クオン様、頼まれていた気晴らしになりそうな書物を何冊か見繕ってきました。
Miss Cone, I brought some things to read to help you pass the time, like you asked.
ありがとう、ルルティエ。退屈で困ってたんだ。
Thank you, Ruthie. I was so bored. I just need something to distract myself.
小生はこれを。
And I have brought you this. As she speaks, she hands Cone a small cage covered by a cloth, with a chirping cricket inside.
少しは慰めになればと思ってな。
I hope that it will cheer you up. That's just gonna annoy her.
綺麗な鳴き声。ありがとう、ムネチカ。
Ah,
嬉しいな。
I love the sound it makes. Thank you, Muchika. This makes me so happy.
それと、
Also, Ruthie gives a small smile as she glances back towards the door.
正常。そんなところでいかがなされた。
My liege, would you enlighten us as to why you are still standing there? At that, Aji sheepishly pokes her head out from around the doorway.
アンジも。
Aji, too?
さあ、正常。
Come now, my liege.
仕方がないの。
Very well. If you insist so, I suppose there is little else to be done. As Muchika urges on, Aji enters the room very slowly.
そなた、風邪をひいたそうじゃの。仕方のないやつじゃ。要は風邪をひいたことなど一度もないというのに。
Word has reached my ears that you have fallen ill. Quite careless of you. I, naturally, have never fallen ill in my life.
うん。なんとなくそんな気はしてた。
Yes, funny how that works out.
ならば、そなたにこれをくれてやろう。
Well, I have come to give you this. Embarrassed, Aji avoids Kone's eyes as she produces a red fruit from her pocket.
ルルティエから聞いた。風邪によく効くそうだ。
I have heard from Ruthie that this fruit helps elevate the unpleasantness of a cold.
ちょうど近くになっていたのでな。クオンにやろうと思ったのじゃ。
It just so happens that I saw one ripe for the picking, so I decided it may as well be yours.
私に？
Mine.
ああ、これを食べて早く元気になるのじゃ。でないとつまらぬからな。
Yes. Now eat this and recover quickly. The manner is mind-numbing dull with you bedridden.
ありがとうアンジェ。
Thank you, Aji.
別にそなたを心配したとかではないぞ。
Which is not to say, of course, that I am worried for your well-being.
うんありがとう。
Thank you.
お姫様まったったんや。
Hehe, Princess, you're all red in the face.
何を言う。そんなことありえぬのじゃ。
What are you even talking about? Impossible.
そうけ？でもこんなに。
Really? But look. Audie begins to probe at Aji's cheeks.
それじゃあいただくね。
Ah, thanks again. I'll gladly accept this. But as Cone opens her mouth to take a bite,
もっと
hold it.
少々お待ちを。せっかくですので食べやすくなるよう一手間かけてみてはいかがでしょう。
What are you gonna do? One moment. Why not prepare it first so it is easier to eat? It'll take but a moment. And Sarna appear as if from nowhere, stopping Cone as they present a bowl. When did you two?
すりおろす。
We'll grate it.
吸収しやすくすればその果実の紅葉をより望めます。さすれば熱も早く下がるでしょう。
The more easily digested, the more it will aid your body. I'm sure it will help in lowering your fever. Oh? Twins take the fruit from Cone's hands and begin grating it into a bowl. Well, this is a rare sight. I did not expect you two to act with such consideration for Cone.
困る。
Problematic?
クオンさんには元気になっていただかないといろいろと差し支えることがありますので。
Cone must recover as soon as possible. If she remains like this, much will be hindered.
ありが。
Thanks.
待つのじゃ。ヨが取ってきたのだからそれはヨがするのじゃ。
Hold! I am the one who brought the fruit. I must be the one to prepare it. Aji grabs a bowl and fiercely attempts the same grating process.
それではダメ。
That is no good.
お待ちください、姫殿下。そんなに力を入れますとえぐみが出てしまいます。
Please wait, Your Highness. If you press with such force, the fruit's bitterness will become more pungent.
そうなのか。ならどのようにすればよい。
Really? Then how am I supposed to do it?
焦らずゆっくり。
No rush. Take your time.
力を入れず丸く円を描くようにすりおろします。そうすればえぐみが出ません。
You must relax your grip and grating in a circular motion. This way, the natural bitterness will not overpower the flavor.
こうか。
Like this? Aji grates with a little more care, instructed by the patient twins. The rest of us chat, watching them work. Comparing to a little while ago, the room's gotten quite lively.
もう風が移っちゃうかもしれないのに。
Oh, come on. If you all stay around here, you'll catch what I have. Besides her words, Cone can't seem to keep the smile off her face.
でもみんなありがとうかな。お見舞いに来てくれて。
But thank you, everyone, for coming to visit me. I guess, and being reminded that we all care was medicine enough.
まあ皆さんお揃いで。くーちゃんが小さかった頃を思い出します。
Oh my, has everyone come to visit? This reminds me of when Pooh was little.
うん。でも友達のお見舞いなんて初めてかも。
But this might be the first time I've had friends visit me while I was sick. I see.
お父様にお母様たち家族だけだったから。
It was usually just father and all my mothers. Just all family.
本当に本当に
This is so...
どうしたのフミリル。
What's the matter, Fumaru?
クーちゃんにお友達ができるなんてなんだか嬉しくて。
I'm just so happy you finally made friends, Ku.
フミリル、
Fumaru.
今までお友達を作ろうとしても誰一人クーちゃんにお友達。
Before, you tried so hard, but not a single person would be your friend.
なんだろう、喜んでくれてるのはわかるんだけど微妙に嬉しくない。
I understand you're happy for me, but you could have phrased that more delicately.
できたぞ。
Ah, it is done. Aji interrupts our talk, triumphantly presenting the fruits of her labor. The grated fruit glistens in the bowl, still quite fresh.
さあクオン、これでさっさと元気になるのじゃ。
Here then, Cone, eat this and be restored. With that, Aji thrusts the bowl forward. A little too forcefully. The contents of the bowl fly through the air, and the vast majority of it lands on
アンジュ
Anju. Fruit juice slowly drips down Cone's head.
決してわざとではないのじゃ。あ、そうじゃ、すぐに洗えば。
It was not on purpose. I swear it. Yes, we must quickly wash. And she hurriedly seized the basin of water, hoisting it quickly upward. Cone's sister, now soaking wet with water and fruit.
姉様、
Dear sister?
クオン様、何か拭くものは。
Miss Cone, we need something to wipe you off.
まあ大変。服物。
Oh dear, yes, we need something to wipe her off.
すまぬ。わざとではないのじゃ。
I am sorry. This was not my intention.
そっか。
Is that so? Cone slowly raises, a dreamy smile on her face.
本当じゃぞ。わざとではないのじゃ。
It is the truth. I really did not mean to do that. Aji backs away slowly.
そっか。
Is that so? Cone takes a step forward.
わざとではないのじゃ。
It was an accident!
こら
Hey, hold it right there!
そうだ。とりあえずこれで拭けば。
Oh, I know. I can wipe her off with this. Rumura pulls at her own sash, and naturally, all her clothes fall off somehow. Ah! Guru staggers back in shock, but trips and crashes to the ground, taking his seat with him and several other pieces of furniture.
大変。キュール様、大丈夫ですか？
Oh no! How terrible! Lord Guru, are you alright? Rumura hurries to Guru and tries to help him up, but eventually, as Guru is pulled up to chest height, he is confronted with some decidedly lower hanging fruit. Gah!
キュール、胸が好きなのか？
Is it boobs? Is that the kind of woman you like, Guru?
やれやれだ。だが、男の望みを叶えてやるのも女の解消だからな。
You men are all the same. But I suppose a girl's gotta help a man's dreams come true.
そうだ。まだ小さいが、すぐに風お姉ちゃんのように大きくなるぞ。
How's that? I might be small now, but I'll be as big as Fu in no time. Ah!
娘の恋路は応援してやりてえが、こうも父親の元から巣立つのが早いってのはな。
Holy crap. I'm all for helping my daughter in her quest for love, but I didn't think she'd be leaving the nest this soon.
許せ、父ちゃん。女
Sorry, Dad, but a girl's gotta put it all on the line to get her man.
そう言われちゃ仕方ないじゃない。男親とは辛いもんだな。
Sniffle, guess I can't stop you now. It's hard being a dad sometimes.
本当に大丈夫ですか？顔色が赤くなったり青くなったり、今度は紫色に。
Are you alright, my lord? Your face keeps changing from bright red to pale white. But now it's a lovely purple.
どうしたキウル？ポンポンか？ポンポン痛いのか？
What's the matter, Kuru? Is it your tummy? Your tummy hurt again?
いやはや、まさかこのような展開になるとは。こんなこと、来光でも予測できなかったでしょう。
My. Who could have expected such a turn of events? I doubt even Raiko could have predicted this. If he could somehow predict something like this, it'll be even scarier.
本当に、オシトルさんと一緒にいると退屈しません。
Truly, there is never a dull moment in your employ, Oster. I have absolutely nothing to do with this.
この待ちなさいと言ってるかな。
You little, I thought I told you to hold it right there.
だからわざとではないのだ。
And I am telling you it was an accident!
キュール様、どうかしっかり。
Lord Kuru, please get a hold of yourself.
しっかりしろ。
Yeah, get a hold of yourself. Nico, what do you think we should do about this?
私に聞かないでほしいのです。
I have no answers for you. And so our ruckus lasted well through the night. And Cone ended up bedridden for 3 more days after that. I feel sorry for Kuru.
おはようございます。
Good morning.
主様、そろそろお目覚めの時間です。
Master, it is time you should waken. Oh, it's morning. Just like usual, I wake up to the twins. Just a little while longer.
起床時間。
It's time to get up.
ご政務に差し支えます。起きてください。
If you take any longer, it'll affect your work for the day. Please wake up. Request denied. I feel something shaking me awake on both sides. Wish I could just sleep a little longer. I grumble in my head as I open my eyes.
上手を用意した。
We have readied water for you.
どうぞお顔を。着替えのご用意もできております。
Please feel free to wash your face. We have also prepared a change of clothes. As I speak, Uru brings over a water basin, and Sarana carries a mirror as they settle themselves next to me. Yeah, My vision blurs suddenly as I try to get up. What was that? My body feels heavier than usual.
具合が悪い。
Are you feeling unwell?
何やらお顔の色が優れません。どこかお体の具合でも？
You seem pale. Does something ail you, Master? No, it is nothing. Did I drink a little too much yesterday? No, I didn't have that much. Anyways, I better freshen up. His eyes. What's going on? I pull the water basin closer and I look into the mirror properly. What? Am I seeing things? No, it might be the alcohol. Or maybe I stayed up too late. I shake my head, trying to clear my mind and wake myself up.
い のエンナカムイもだいぶ豊かになってきたのです。
Inuyakamu has become much more prosperous compared to what it once was. Yeah, I have heard that the new market square in town is quite lively these days. The country's administration is going smoothly. We've made alliance with a couple nearby countries, and we're all the better for it. These papers concern the authorization of a festival in town, and these would be gifts from the people.
今年は野菜が豊作だったのです。それでぜひお納めくださいと各地から続々届いているのです。
The harvest this year was quite plentiful. Many of the nearby farms have sent us shares of their pickings. That is good to hear, but I am not sure what to do with this much. Regardless, I am glad to hear that the farmers thrive. Let us send these gifts to the kitchens. It would be a terrible waste not to use them.
わかりましたです。
Understood.
こうした市政の物事を積み重ねることが国を良くするということなのですね。
These small improvements for the people, these are what leads the country to greatness. Indeed. I've been so busy I lost sight of it, but the people of this land really appreciate these small steps for their lives.
その方が皆さんも喜ぶと思うのです。
Yes, I'm sure everyone will be happy this way. I suppose the fact that we have to worry about how to use extra supplies is a sign of our prosperity. Still, we don't know the Imperial Army plans. Once we find that out, our plans could change at any time. I shake my head, trying to line up my thoughts. As I look up, I find a cup of tea steaming on my desk.
お疲れ様です。お茶をどうぞ。
You seem a little tired. Have some tea. Ah, thank you. How fares your liege?
アンジュ様でしたら、宗近様、アトイ様とお稽古をなさるとのことです。
Miss Aju is currently sparring with Miss Muchika and Miss Audie.
私は夕げの下ごしらえが終わりましたので、何かお手伝いできることがありましたらと。
I just finished preparing for tonight's dinner, so I thought I'd come by to see if I can help with anything.
ありがとうございますです。いつもルルティエ様が手伝ってくださるので、とても助かっているのです。
Thank you, Ruthie. We always appreciate the help you give us.
いえ、そう言ってもらえると嬉しいです。
I'm very glad to hear I'm being of use.
そういえば、そちらのカゴは
Oh, what is in that basket over there?
民からの上納品なのです。後ほど持っていこうかと思っているのですが。
Gifts from the people. We are planning on delivering them to you later.
でしたら、私が持って行っておきましょうか。
If that's the case, I can simply take it with me right now.
そんな、ルルティエ様のお手を煩わせるのは申し訳ないのです。
Oh, but I could not force you to carry it all that way.
でも、結構な量ですし。あ、でしたら、一緒に持っていきましょうか。
It's quite heavy, though. Oh, I know. How about I help carry it with you? Thank you.
ありがとうなのです。
It's nice to have quiet moments like these when I can get them. Listen to them chat, absently raising the cup to tea to my lips. Ah! Ah! Suddenly the cup breaks in my hand. A crystalline sound pierces the air. Hot tea splatters in my lap.
大丈夫ですか？
Ape, are you alright? Ruthie hurriedly takes out a cloth, trying to wipe up the spill. Yes, I'm fine. I'm not sure why the cup broke so suddenly.
もしかしたら、湯飲みにひびが入っていたのかもです。
Oh, he's, merging with the mass more and more, so he's getting more power from it. Perhaps there was a crack in the cup to begin with? I was rather fond of that cup. Oh, well, I suppose there's nothing to be done.
やけどなどされていませんか？
Are you sure you weren't burned anywhere? Yes, I seem to be fine.
そうですか。よかった。
I see. I'm glad to hear that. After a while, I decide to head out so I can stretch my legs a bit. Trying to loosen up my stiff muscles, I stretch and shift my limbs around. My arms feel oddly heavy as I rotate my shoulders. Seems my shoulders have gotten pretty stiff. Probably from being glued to the desk all day. But the same length, rigid feeling I felt in the morning still lingers with me. Maybe I'm just tired. I'll see if Cone's got some kind of pill I can take. As I ponder, my eyes pass across my hand, and I notice a red stain at the base of my thumb. It seems to be from dried blood? Did I cut myself earlier on that cup? Well, it doesn't hurt. If I just suck on the wound a bit, it should... Huh? As I wipe away the blood, wondering as its cause, I suddenly realize... No cut. I tried wiping it a little vigorously, but nothing. No wound. No cut. Just a splatter of blood on my hand. Perhaps I cut myself somewhere else? I check myself over, surveying my body, but I can't find any traces of injury. I'm left wondering where this blood came from. Was it all in my head? No, that can't be. That would be far too fast, even with the power of the Akakuruka. Despite the building unease in my head, I continue onward, hearing the sound of metal clashing against metal up ahead. This is... Head towards the sound. What I find at the end of my path is a little more over the top than I was expecting. Impressive.
こっちのセリフやい。うちの技をここまで受け切ってくれるなんて、さすがは宗近。
That's my line. I don't think anyone ever blocked my attacks like that. But I suppose that's Munichika for you. At the center of the training grounds, I see Munichika and Audi standing opposed, their weapons drawn in at the ready. And surrounding them, I see dust clouds, shattered boulders, and some unnatural-looking craters. The two of them must be in the middle of a sparring match. That's fine and all, but...
それじゃ、そろそろ本気を出してもいいけ?
Well, you wouldn't mind if I go all out then, do you? No need to hold back. Come at me with everything you have. Just as Munichika finishes speaking, Audi dashes in faster than my eyes can follow, her spear speeding through the air. But Munichika blocks the strike with ease. And from that one moment of contact, a clang of metallic distress echoes across the field, and the surrounding terrain warps just slightly.
ノー君、本当に次はヨが相手をせねばならんのか?
Cone? Am I really to face one of them next?
稽古をつけてもらうんだもの。そうなるかな?
The idea was to get some training for you, so yes. I think that would be the case.
あれを?
Against that? Then at the edge of the training grounds, Aji quivers at Kone's response.
楽しそうだけど?
Looks like fun to me.
ヨは全然楽しくないのじゃ。あんな戦バカどもとやらされてたまるものか。
In what world is that fun? I have no intention of fighting either one of those bloodthirsty manics. As Aji screams, another clash of metal rings out through the field. Splendid done. However, as Audie's spear slices through the wind, Munichika intercepts it with a clang. Through strike after strike after strike, each of Audie's attacks are deftly blocked with Munichika's massive gauntlet. Audie's assault is relentless, her spear stabbing through the air again and again, but Munichika reads every movement.
すごいすごい。ほんなら次行くい。
Wow, amazing! Well, how do you like this? With a grin on her face, Audie swiftly parries the vicious bulk of Munichika's gauntlet and lashes out with another barrage of strikes. Do those two have any of that idea who has to clean up after them? Oh god, it's getting worse. I put my head in my hands as I let out a sigh. I asked purely out of curiosity, but what is going on here?
おお、オーストルか。良いところに来たのじゃ。
Ah, Oster, you have come at the perfect time. She clearly intends to use me as a scapegoat. I can't say I don't sympathize.
一応
なっているかな。
Well, this is supposed to be a training exercise, I think.
プルプルプルプル。
Jiggle, 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 jiggle. As the vortex of destruction and chaos swirls before us, one girl and one thing seems utterly unmoved. Ha 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 ha.
まだまだ。
Not quite, pet. The battle between Audie and Mujiga rages, both of them unleashing a frenzy back and forth of strikes and parries. Mujiga knocks back Audie's blade, and she uses the momentum to step in for a follow-up attack. But Audie lashes out in a furious reply. Koen suddenly steps in and stops the two of them.
はい、そこまでかな。
That should be enough, I think.
あやや、これからいいところやのに。
But it was just getting good.
これ以上やると後片付けが大変だから、このくらいにしとこっか。
Any more in this place would be beyond the help of any cleanup. Let's leave it at that for now.
いい修練になった。アトゥイ殿、ご指南感謝する。
It was a fine bout, Lady Audie. I thank you for training with me.
うちの方こそ楽しかったえ。
Oh, the pleasure's mine, pet. It was super fun. Two cheerily praise each other, and then Audie notices me.
オストラー。なあなあ、オストラーもやり合いに来た？
Oh, Oster, did you come here to fight too? No, I was merely taking a walk for a change of pace.
なら、うちは次お休みやえ。
Well-
やりたくなったらいつでも言ってな。
Well, I suppose I'll take a break too, then. If you ever feel like going at it, let me know. I awkwardly smile back at Audie, who still seems to be itching for a fight, and try to make a smooth exit.
では、次は小生が正常のお相手をいたしましょう。アトゥイ殿のおかげで体が温まりましたゆえ。
Next, my liege, I shall be your opponent. Thanks to Lady Audie, I am now adequately warmed up.
待て、何をバカなことを言っておるのじゃ。
Wait a moment. What is this foolishness?
遠慮はいりませぬ。全力で打ち込んでこられよ。
There is no need to hold back. You may come at me with your full strength.
なぜ人の話を聞かんのじゃ。
Why do you refuse to listen? The princess seems pretty desperate. I have to say, I know the feeling.
そうじゃ。
I know.
せっかくじゃから二人ともオシトルに稽古をつけてもらってはどうじゃ。
Yes, a perfect opportunity presents itself. Perhaps the two of you may train with Oster instead for a while. What? You can't be serious. At Aji's declaration, Audie instantly grins. Her break barely begun.
それ、ええなあ。
Oh, that sounds good. Well, I am actually rather busy.
気晴らしに散歩中って言ってたえ。ちょっとぐらい付き合ってえな。
But you just said you were only taking a walk, didn't you? Come on, it'll only be for a little bit. Well, yes, but...
じゃあ、一回戦目はうちからやえ。
Warning you now, pet. Round one's going to be to me. Wait, what do you mean, round one? That's already more rounds than I need. Hold a moment. I actually just remembered there is an urgent matter I must attend to. I'm sorry, but duty calls.
こちらに遠慮は無用。
You need not hold back for our sakes. That's not the issue.
そんなら、行くえ。
Here I go. Wait. I hastily draw my metal fan to defend against Audie's spear. He notices and nods happily, clearly very pleased.
こうして誰にも邪魔されずにやり合うのは初めてやえ。
I don't think we've ever gotten a chance to scrap one-on-one like this, with nobody around to interfere. With no hesitation, she whirls out in a diagonal slash and uses her momentum to make a second slice at my head. I barely managed to deflect. Gah!
さすがオストルはんやえ。やっぱりこんなお遊びじゃ届かんな。
Oh, I suppose that's what I get for challenging Oster. Guess I'll have to get serious if I want to score a hit on you. Her smiles turn several shades more predatorily. Her strikes get faster and faster, clearly using the more force than simple training would require. What is this? As I deflect each successful strike with my fan, I realize something feels odd.
おお、見事じゃ。
Ah, impressive indeed. I hear Audrey's voice echo across the field. Audrey's optimistic smile gradually fades, her expression turned focused and serious. Something definitely isn't right here. The torrent of strikes closed in on me, as though to dice me into ribbons. But it feels too light. Were Audie's attacks always this light? Or slow? In fact, it almost feels like she's getting slower and slower. Before I realize it, my body is reactively blocking and dodging everything. Far too easily. I nimbly dive between her slashes and raise my fan to her throat. Huh?
それまで。
Stop there! Audie stands frozen in surprise as Moonchicken announced my victory from the sidelines.
わやや。
Aw, Pits.
さすがはオストル。よから見ても見事な動きじゃったぞ。のくん。
Quite impressive, Oster. Even I can see the clear elegance of your combat style. Is that not so, Cone?
結構頼もしくなってきたかな。
Yes, you've improved quite a bit.
ああ、すごかった。やっぱりオストルはすごいな。
I mean, it was amazing. Yes, you certainly are a wonder to behold, Oster.
私にはとても真似できないかな。
Why, I could never do something like that.
う
Hmm?
ーん、なんか悔しい。
I
久し
can't...
ぶりに全部出し切ったって感じで気分いいな。
I can't believe I lost. I felt good to go all out for once. After the shock passes, Audie appears to be left with a doopy, contented smile.
さすがオストルじゃな。
Indeed, you truly are amazing, Oster.
パラパラパラパラ。
Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
クラリン、心配しとるのけ？
Oh, Kurin, there's no need to fuss.
パラパラパラ。
Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
大丈夫やい。オストルはんにちょっと稽古つけてもらっただけやわ。
No, I'm fine. It was just a little sparring match between Oster and me, pet.
では、次は小生が。
Then I shall gladly claim the next bout. In high spirits, Moonchicken makes one final check over her own weapon of choice. Wait, I can't fight anymore today.
出し惜しみは無用。ぜひ全力で立ち会っていただきたい。
You need not to be concerned for my sake. I would savor a chance to face you at your true strength. I am sorry, but my body feels heavy from all the desk work I've been doing. We will have to do this another time.
ふん。
Hmm?
そういえば、なんだか顔色が悪いような。
Now that you mention it, you don't look so good. Own words remind me that there's truth in what I said. Yeah, that's right. Ever since this morning, everything's felt strange.
ならば仕方がない。オストルが倒れてはことだからな。
Well, I suppose there's nothing for it. We can't have you collapsing on us, Oster.
残念至極。
Truly a pity. Moonchicken seems deeply disappointed, while Cone stares at me as if she wants to say something. I'll be taking my leave, then.
くれぐれも体を大切にするのじゃぞ。
Do make sure to take care of yourself.
それでは正常。小生がお相手を。
Well then, my liege, the next round falls to us.
なんでそこに戻るのじゃ？
Why are you back to this? He thought she was free. What is this? After I leave the training grounds, wondering if I should go back to my room, it happens. My body feels so heavy. That strange lengthary that's been weighing me down all day suddenly doubles. Ugh, my chest. The world before me begins to warp. My heart races and I feel my chest tightening. I stagger against the wall, trying to hold myself up, and I realize I'm covered in sweat. Gah. Somehow, I manage to keep myself upright, gasping for breath. Hazily, I remember to cover my mouth. Raising my arm, slowly fading to white and falling apart. My arm, just now no, it looks fine. Startled, I examine my arm, but it's the same as it always is. But I'm covered in a cold sweat all the same. Am I hallucinating? No, wait. I remember seeing something similar before. It was when...
オストル
Oster? At that moment, I hear someone's voice from behind. Cone, what seems to be the matter?
本当に顔色が悪そうだったから
You weren't looking too good, so I thought... No need to worry. I am fine. I apologize if I caused any worry.
ならいいんだけど
If you're sure. I think I shall be returning to my duties now. I leave Cone with a smile, walking quickly away. Little by little, the nightmarish image fades from my mind. He's merging with the mask a lot more. Are you going to Dear Mother's again? Yes, she seems in much better health these days. Perhaps her mind has been set at ease.
でもこんな時に
But going at a time like this? Precisely when I wish to go. Precisely why I wish to go. I speak frankly, trying to make myself clear to Nico. War is almost upon us. When next we march to take the capital. It'll be a hard-fought battle, to be sure. Many will never return, and it may be that I am among that number. That is why I must have a proper farewell with Mother.
兄様
Dear brother. And if I get past this, that will be one less thing for you to worry about, Nico. Win or lose, this will likely be my last meeting with her. Nico's body flinches in alarm for a moment.
あまり深入りはしないでほしいのですもし兄様が
I do not wish for you to get too involved. If she realizes... You need not worry. I am merely doing what I must. I gently pat her head, trying to confront her. You may leave Mother in my hands. Nico just quietly looks down. Nico's concerns aren't unfounded, but I'd rather not have any regrets before I leave. I leave Nico behind and head to the door. Oh! Ruthie.
オストル様
Sir Oster. Ruthie and I nearly jump into each other in the doorway, and she backs away startled. Basket of fruit in her hands nearly tips, but I quickly reach out to support it.
すみません
I'm sorry about that. You need not worry. I was being careless. Myself.
あのどちらへ行かれるのですか
Were you on your way somewhere? Yes, I was just about to visit my mother.
そうですか
I see. I should be off then. I should return before sunset.
はい行ってらっしゃい
Yes. I will see you later, then. Ruthie bows her head politely and remembers the contents of her basket as she looks down. She raises her head quickly.
それでしたら
Oh, if that's the case, perhaps...
オストル様
Sir Oster? However, there's no one to accept her offered basket. The person standing before her moments ago is already gone. Damn it, what is going on here? Mother?
まあまた来てくれたのね
You come to visit again, have you? Hearing the voice of her... Hearing the voice at her front door, Mother speaks up, happily surprised. Yes, some rare treats have come into my possession, and I wish for you to have some, Mother. It's a sight I've gotten used to, a peace I've gotten used to. I haven't been here very long, but I feel odd nostalgic whenever I'm here. I quickly shake off those thoughts. That won't do. I cannot relax like that. I regain control of my thoughts. Maybe that's why Nico was concerned. She saw how much I wanted to let everything go.
どうかしたの？もしかしてお勤めのこと？
Is something the matter? Does this visit have something to do with your work? Mother's voice snapped me back to the present. Yes. I deeply bow my head. I wish to visit you before I must leave to fulfill my duties. A silence falls between us for a moment. However, Mother seems to understand and respond quietly.
そう。
I see.
ならまたしばらく帰ってこないのね。
So, I suppose you won't be coming back for quite a while. Yes. I may never be able to come back, but I squash those thoughts. Answer with a practiced calm.
ではせっかくですからこのお菓子は一緒に食べましょうか。それとも。
If that is the case, why don't we take this opportunity to enjoy them together? Or, a mischievous smile crosses her face as she continues.
私の息子は母とお茶をするのがお嫌？
Perhaps my son doesn't wish to have tea with his poor, doting mother. Certainly not the case, and a possible notion.
ではお茶の用意をするわね。
In that case, I'll brew some tea. You need not trouble yourself, I can prepare it.
今日は私があなたにも母らしいところを見せておきたいの。
No, I'll do it today. I would like the chance to act as your mother for once.
それにいつもあなたが用意してしまうので湯飲みがどこにあるのか忘れてしまいそうですから。
Besides, if you're always the one preparing it for me, I'll end up forgetting where we keep the tea settings.
あら、本当に美味しい。
Oh, you're right. These are delicious. Mother exclaims in surprise, chewing thoughtfully on one of the little fried snacks. Would I ever lie to you?
でもあなたはそれほど甘いものが得意だったわけではないでしょ？
But you've never been partial to sweets, I thought. Preference has little to do with it. I can still tell that these are of fine quality.
それもそうね。
I suppose you're right. Her response is quiet. For a while, we simply sit together, eating the sweets in tranquil silence. The minutes go by quietly and sincerely as the sun's beautiful rays shine through. In this idyllic moment, I feel myself inwardly sigh in relief. And so Mother has this final memory of Oster to stay with her. It's not much, but it's a warm, comfortable memory, like a beam of sunlight. And that's all there needs to be. A memory with a mother's heart. I raise my head, looking into Mother's face, a face I've grown familiar with. One that's been etched into my own mind since I've been here. Just a memory, and that's all I need to be, as well. Mother gaze drifted towards the yard outside. I follow her gaze, unsure of her thoughts.
ね
Tell me. Mother continues to stare out at the yard, and begins to speak, as if suddenly reminded of something.
え、あの子は
My child?
オシトルは立派でしたか？
Yeah, I figured she would know. My child, Oster. Did he live a life to be proud of? My entire body jolts. Shock courses through me. I look quickly away from her, eyes cast downward as my hand clenches into a fist. When did she realize? I am not sure what you mean. I can barely respond. My voice shakes. Then I notice her gaze, warm as an embrace. Carefully, I raise my eyes and look into hers.
いいのです。もう
You don't have to do this anymore. I see no anger or grief in her expression. She just quietly looks on with a maternal affection and pity in her eyes. My gaze falls again, and I hail slowly. Though she knew all along. Of course, there is no way I could have fooled her. Not her. He was a proud and noble Manafu. Even though countless moods he never flattered. He was even looking forward. He died a death any man would be proud of. His final moments will always remain with me. He shielded Nico and I from harm with his own body. Will she hate me for this? But I can't lie to her. Not anymore.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
あの子のことを教えてくれてありがとう。
Thank you for telling me of his final moments. Thank you. Why?
そう。あの子は立派にお役目を果たしたのですね。
So, my boy truly did fulfill his duties then. Why do you not blame me? You even have every right to. I feel a warmth envelop my clenched fist.
辛かったでしょうに。よくここまで頑張ったわね。
It must have been so hard for you. You must have lost so much of it to get this far. What is she saying? It's her that this should be hard for. I swallowed, keeping the words from escaping me. However, she continues, as gentle as if she were cradling me in her arms.
もういいの。こらえなくてもいいのよ。
It's alright now. You don't have to carry this anymore. My eyes sting with the sudden tears. I quickly look up at the ceiling, fighting to keep them from spilling. Come on, get through it. What have I thrown it all away for? I cannot break here.
あなたにも辛い道を選ばせてしまったのね。
You have chosen a path of hardship, haven't you?
誰にも告げることができず苦しかったでしょうに。
You must have suffered so much having to keep silent all this time. Why? You have every right to hate me for what I have done. Mother merely gives me a small smile.
自慢の息子が増えたのにどうして恨む必要があるのかしら。
How could I hate you? Thanks to you, I now have 2 sons to be proud of.
あなたもあの子に似て強情で困った子なのね。
You're just like him, you know, so stubborn. It's quite troubling.
そんな息子が2人なんですもの。母として心配で仕方がないわ。
And now, to have 2 sons of such troublesome disposition. A mother worries, you know. My heart tenses. I am your...
あなたの歩む道は私の息子が歩む道。なら
You-
ばあなたは私の大事な息子。
You walk the same path as my son. In more ways than you know. And so, I count you as another precious child of mine.
この母の自慢の息子です。
A son that has made this mother so proud. That breaks me. I can't hold it anymore. Sob. I feel mother's arms hold me close.
本当によく頑張ったわね。
You've done so well.
あの子となってくれてありがとう。あの子の意志を継いでくれて
Thank you for
ありが
becoming
とう。
that child. Thank you for carrying on his will. She gently pats my back as she speaks. Ugh.
そしてごめんなさい。
And I am sorry.
本当のあなたを死なせてしまってごめんなさい。
I am sorry that we allowed your true self to die.
あの子のわがままでこの国を背負わせてしまってごめんなさい。
I am sorry that you were forced to bear the burden of this land's hope, all because of my boy's wish.
何度でも言うわ。あなたは自慢の息子。オシュトルと同じ私の自慢の息子です。
I will say it for you. I will say it for as long as you will listen. You are a son to be proud of. Just like Oster. I am so happy I could be a mother to both of you. And Nico. No. What that means? Oh, Ruthie.
どうしてどうして
But why? Why? Mother.
今はお泣きなさい。
You can let it all out.
その涙は決して恥ずかしいものではないわ。あの子のために流してくれた涙が恥ずかしいものですか。
It is never a shameful thing to shed tears. And what shame could there be be in tears shed for him?
誰もあなたを笑ったりなどしない。
None will laugh.
誰であろうと
None will
この
laugh.
母
God
を
dang it.
笑わせません。
None will laugh or ridicule you for it. No, I'll not allow them to.
他の誰が知らなくともこの母が知っています。
Even if nobody ever realizes, your mother knows the truth.
あなたの背負った使命を誰にも打ち明けることのできない思いを。
The burden that you have carried, the secret that you have kept.
だから忘れないで。あなたは決して一人ではないということを。
So please, don't forget, you are not, and you will never be, alone. Ugh.
オシュトレス様、お帰りなさい。
Sir Oster. Welcome back. Ah, thank you. Quite a surprise to see you still awake at such hours.
はい、
Well, Ruthie looks ready to say something, but she hesitates, a shadow falling over her expression. I pause, then speak. A decisive battle is coming.
はい。私はあまりお力にはなれませんが。
Yes, I'm afraid I won't be of much use. We have all worked hard to fulfill our duties for that day, Ruthie. The same goes for you. I want you to take pride in all you have accomplished.
いえ、オシュトレ様こそ私たちの誇りです。
Let's see. Oh no, Sir Oster, you are the one we are most proud of. I fear it is still far too early for me to deserve such praise.
私も同じです。
Then that would go for me as well. Nobody knows if this is really going to be the end. But I am lost in thought for a moment, and Ruthie remains silent as well. The two of us stand together in the stillness of the night. The hour grows late. Let us speak of this on another occasion. I turn around and begin walking away, but Ruthie speaks again. Her Haku? Without thinking, I almost turn around. Every muscle in my body tenses to keep me from facing forward. Good night, Ruthie. I'll be waiting. Her voice is soft, as if in prayer. Song of Forgiveness. Okay, now let's see. Nico was the first, plus also the twins. So there's 3 of them. Cone figured it out. So there's 4. Then Augie most likely knew from the beginning. He's such an observant, he most likely knows the differences. Then, Jackawalt, I'm a little iffy on. I think he might know that he's Haku, but he's just letting it go. Because I know he's a servant like crazy too. Then there's, Audie now. In the last, on the ship she noticed, finally. And then now Ruthie. So we just have, Murchika, Aju, Kuru. There is a possibility Kuru might know. Simply because he grew up. But it's a little hard to know. He might be denying it. So that's 3, and then there's, Norcy. I doubt she even notices too much. Is 4. Or she might know, but she doesn't know. In the point where she had a hard time trying to figure it out. I think that's about... Yeah. No. She doesn't. Most likely. No. Doesn't know. Audie. Rumoro might know. And he wouldn't know for sure. So, but the original party, it'll be just Norcy now that doesn't know, I expect, and Kuru. Of the original group, and then Audie, or Aji. All these 3 just add extras. So, it looks like we're going to be having a battle. The Akumu Imperial Capital. Naku, as the dust settles upon the Battle of Naku, the conflict seems to be at its stalemate. So we're here, we got these guys under or allied, and we got these guys allied. Which is a little weird that this area is still under cloud. Because they never really show Uru. They're supposed to be somewhere in this area. The Urujura. Not this area. This was open land. Another group's territory, I think. Then we had Naku, and then... But the change is coming, lurking, ready to burst forward from beneath the surface. Unless Urujuri is way back here. It looks like this area is all mapped. The bridge's fall brought more suspicious than praise for the Imperial Army. Ultimately, it was proven beneficial to Inuyasha's alliance. That the two forces faced one another, yet avoided a full-scale clash. Looks to all the world like the huge Imperial army was cowed into submission.
エンナカムイ側もこの事実をことさらに喧伝し、さらに各国の思惑を引き出す。
Inyakumu deliberately spread this information, and it rapidly becomes a rally cry, swaying other neutral nations to its cause. Kujuru, Yuzura,
交渉や特
Jairua.
使の高官が街道の隅々を網の目のように伝播していき、
This doesn't
この
feel
結
like...
果は辺境での小競り合いとなって現れた。
Yeah, Kujuru isn't here. It's further back into this area, I think. Secret envoys spread across the roads like blood through the Empire's veins, and soon, invigorated, the remoter Imperial territories began to revolt.
最初はわずかな国境の変化だったが、それ自体が意志ある生き物のようにうごめき、広がり、やがてある形が現出する。
It starts quietly, with small border skirmishes and unrest, but the movement grows and swells, like a beast with a hunger all its own.
長くこの地に君臨した聖獣の心臓を分かたれたもう一匹の獣が取り巻き、淡々と狙う。そ
And
のような形に見えた。
And just as the beast sheds an all ill-fitting skin, so too has Inyakumu remade itself. Come to fell the elder beast roosting in the capital.
無論、朝廷もただ手をこまねいていたわけではないが、その動きは迅速とは言い難いものであった。
Of course, the Yamatan army is hardly standing idle through all this, but their response are much too slow.
国体は盤石と見たのか、何か別の内観があるのか、あるいはこの遅れこそが仕組まれた罠であるのか。
Perhaps they believe their power infallible, or have other intentions. Perhaps the campaign has all been an elaborate farce to lower Oster's guard.
完全とはしないものの、短期的な状況としては、これもエンナカムイ側に味方した。
But for now, Inuyakumu's power grows. Whatever the reason, the cause is finally finding its feet.
また、真の姫殿下はどちらかという諸国諸侯の問いに、朝廷が確たる証拠を示さなかったことも大きい。
That the Imperial remnants haven't yet provided true, irrefutable evidence that they have the real princess only helps Inuyakumu's side.
対するエンナカムイ側も、ことさらに心眼を強調することはなかったが、その姿勢こそが暗に真実に対する証左と取られた。
Nor has Inuyakamu made any attempt to parade Aji's identity around. Its actions alone speak loudly enough for the rest of the Empire.
無論、互いの科目の裏に、高難取り混ぜた情報戦があったことは言うまでもんだ。
Of course, behind the silence on both sides, all manner of spycraft and information warfare have churned the waters.
小競り合いはついに国同士の戦となり、束の間の平和を戦乱の気配が覆う。
Those tiny border skirmishes are full battles now, conflicts between nations. The fingers of war have begun to tighten the grip on Yamato once more.
朝廷への敵対勢力は日に日に勢いを増し、やがて双方の力が拮抗することが明白となった。
And now, here Inuyakamu stands, his power having grown to stand a proper face-to-face chance against the Imperial army. The field is even.
もはや決戦は不可避。傍観を決め込んでいた残る諸国もその旗色をあらわにし、来るべき騒乱に備え始めていた。
A final decisive clash is unavoidable at this stage. The last neutral holdouts have all chosen sides, and Yamato itself hangs in the balance. We've come this far. The war map lies spread out before me, and I can't help but mutter my thoughts under my breath. The night air is cold. To the quick cold. But even the chill can't put a dent in the burning heat I feel in my chest. Okay, I figured, and there's still more territory up around. They even got islands up there. Yeah, this territory is probably under the control too, somehow. It just cut off. It's a little weird. But whatever. We fought so much to get here. And now it's just our army and the enemies. No more third parties. The map is clearly split into two colors. We've gathered many allies and fended off just as many enemies. More. And now our forces finally rival those of the Pure Court. Actually, we even have a slight edge in raw numbers. In a impressive silence, I assess the pieces on the table, forming plans in my head. I slide them around on the table with my thoughts as my thoughts dedicate. One piece remains off the table, the blockade that had halted our progress toward the capital. No more secret schemes. No more hiding in the dark. Today, it ends. Next battle will decide the outcome of the war. Full stop. And that means it's finally time to end this. My voice and my heartbeat both thud in my ears like hammers. It's really happening. This is it. Approaching footsteps, however, distract me.
起きてる？
You're still awake in there? Tone voice cuts through the mental noise. Tone, what brings you here at this hour?
まだ明かりがついてたから。
You left the lights on, so she lets herself in hastily.
もしかしたらまだ根を詰めてるのかなって思って。
I was worried you might be pushing yourself too hard, considering. I made her worry. Everything's alright. I was just having a hard time sleeping. I gave her a reassuring a smile, as I can manage, and she smiles back as she finds the seat.
これで本当に終わりなんだ。
So this really is the end, huh? And a new beginning. Whatever the outcome, Yamato will be fundamentally changed.
そういうつもりで言ったんじゃないんだけどな。
Haha, that's not really what I meant. Then what did you mean?
国とか決着とか大げさなことではなくて、ようやく一段落つくんだなって。
I wasn't really thinking all that grand of a scale. I meant more. It's the end for us, our part in all this.
これが終わったら、もう戦をすることもなくなるんだよね。
After tomorrow, we won't have to fight anymore. You're not wrong. At the very least, this is the last time I'll fight with everyone. Her own words evoke a deep exhaustion in me. A bit of nostalgic for the days past. It's taken a lot of hardship to get here, but there were good times too. The good, the bad, all memories I would never trade away. Where it all began, though, that bit isn't one of the happier moments.
頼んだぜ。あんちゃん。
I'm counting on you, kid. Dawn seems to notice my discomfort, for she keeps her smile pointedly as she turns to face me.
それで、オストルはどうするの？
So, Oster, what are you going to do now? What do you mean by that?
そのままの意味かな。すべてが終わったらどうするんだろうって。
Nothing more than what it sounds like, I think. It's almost over. What are you going to do after tomorrow? She looks at me with an earnest question in her eyes and doesn't elaborate on her question any further. She doesn't have to. That's right, my duty as Oster will be coming to an end, too. I touch my mask instinctively, feeling a soft pulse in it, my own heartbeat, resonating through the material fused into my body. My heart sinks. Now that I actually look back on it, there's not really an endgame for me, is there? I've just been pushing forward, hoping it'll all work out. Now all of it is.
どうかな。
So, what do you say? Hmm? Phone presses me for an answer, and finally I allow myself to entertain thoughts I've been avoiding for months. When all's said and done tomorrow, there won't be any more need for an Oster. So when that time comes, what do I say? What do I do? I can't think of anything. Whatever I might have had to return to, I threw it away with the name Haku. I can't be that man again. Even if I wanted to, it's not like I can bring the old Oster back from the dead and hand the reins over. Feeling Cone's eyes resting heavily on me, I stir myself from my thoughts and answer honestly. I'm afraid all I've been thinking about lately is what lies before. But what lies beyond that, I haven't really put much thought toward.
そっか。
I see. Cone nods, seemingly satisfied with the answer, and she claps her hand with sudden cheer.
そうだ。それならデスクルに来てみてはどうかな。
Then how about this? You can come visit Tusker. Tusker?
うん。私の故郷がデスクルだってことはもう知っていると思うけど。
I could show you around, I think. I mean, you know it's my homeland by this point, I hope.
それでこれが終わったらフミリルと一緒に一旦里帰りをしようと思ってたから。
Hi, Suki. How's it going? I was gonna go back there with Fumuro once everything's over.
その時オストルもどうかなって。
If you'd like, I wouldn't mind having you along.
いろいろと見せたいものがあるんだ。あの空と景色、街並みや民の声。
I need to make some more emotes, I think. But anyways, there's so much I want to see. The different colors the sky turns, the cityscape, the people. Cone mutters aimlessly, lost in Null's gel stick, then quickly brings the conversation back to her point.
そのだからこの戦が終わったら遊びに来ない？オストルも気に入ると思うかな。
Well, I can gush about home another time. Would you consider it, at least? I think you'll like it there, Oster. Oh, wait, AV. It doesn't sound bad. I'd like you to give me a grand tour when time comes.
うん、もちろん。
Yeah, leave it to me. With that, we lapse in comfortable silence. Cone keeps her eyes fixed on me, expression warm. It's a familiar kind of comfort. For a quiet, imitate moment, we can pretend the clock has turned back. Minutes pass in silence until approaching steps interrupt the brief, peaceful respite once more.
オストル、起きておるか？
Oster, are you awake? An uneasy-looking Aju neglects to announce herself, abruptly poking her head in. My liege, what are you doing here at this hour?
実はそなたに少し話が。
Well, there was a matter I wish to discuss. You see, as Aji begins to launch into an explanation, her eyes settle on Cone.
クオンもおったのか。
Ah, you're here too?
うん、ちょっとね。
Just visiting for a bit.
うん。
The princess looks from Cone to me, then back to Cone again. Fugitively. She has something she wants to say. I guess she was expecting the company.
いつまでもそんなところに立ってたら風邪をひいちゃうかな。ほら、中に入って。
You'll catch a cold standing out there all night, Aju. Why don't you come in and talk to us? Cone gently nudges Aju, still hovering uncertainly at the threshold, into the room.
仕方がないの。そなたがそういうのなら。
Well, I suppose I cannot refuse hospitality. I'm only doing what you say because it's polite. Do you understand me?
それじゃあ明日も早いし、私はもう戻るね。
I'll leave you two at it. You two to it, then. I should rest, I think. Big day ahead of us tomorrow.
良いのか？
You are sure? I didn't mean...
いいの。言いたいことは言ったから。それじゃあオシトル、おやすみなさい。さっきの件考えといてね。
I already said what I came to say. Good night, Oster. And think about my proposal, won't you? Cone stands aside, let Anji pass, then shows herself out, disappearing into night once more.
うん。
I, At that, Anju blinks, taken somewhat aback. But as Cone departs, she puts it from her mind. She seats herself where Cone had just been moments before. The princess, however, doesn't seem as forthcoming with what she has to say. She fidgets in silence, casting nervous glances toward me. Now, Your Highness, what can I do for you so late at night?
その、なんじゃ。
Well, I, still refusing to meet mine. Aji's eyes wander until they fall on the war map. She nods slowly.
もうすぐデートに手が届くのじゃな。
They are saying we're near the castle walls. That will be upon them tomorrow. Her expression is, for lack of better words, troubled. I can't imagine how anxious she must be feeling about all this. Yeah, the settings they have, I hope we're like in some other place, not back in Inuyakamu. Because if we were still, because the background setting looks almost like Inuyakamu, so it's like, why? We should be closer to the front. Yeah, I'd be uneasy too, kid. Final battle on the horizon. You have nothing to fear and nothing to worry about, Your Highness. I promise you the capital, and I will deliver you the capital.
それに関しては何も案じてはおらぬのじゃ。要はそなたを信じておるからの。
Yes, I'm not worried. I trust my very life to you, Aster. You know this. Then what can I help with?
そのじゃな。一つ聞きたかったことがあるのじゃ。
You see, I wish to ask something of you. Ask something of me.
オシトルよ。そなた、この戦が終わった後、どうするのじゃ？
What do you intend to do when this war is over? How do you mean that, Your Highness? The hell? Why is she asking me the same thing Cone did? What kind of joke? More and more, it's becoming clear that yes, I may be lacking in the future plans department. But now I just feel even more lost than before. If anything, I should be the one asking them where to go from here.
いや、よい、愚問じゃった。
Never mind. It was a silly question. Well, she loves Oster. Cone loves Oster slash Haku. Or I should say Haku slash Oster. So there's a little situation. Never mind. It was a silly question. Anju's shoulders seem to sink for a moment, and then she straightens, making a sudden proclamation.
そなたがおるべき場所は世の隣に決まっておるのじゃ。
Besides, Your place after this war is at your liege's side, obviously. She finds the courage to firmly meet my eyes, declaring this as though it were gospel's truth.
そうじゃオシトル、こっちに来てここに座るのじゃ。
I said your liege's side, Oster. Come and sit over here. I am not certain what you.
はようするのじゃ。
I command it. Aji taps the ground with a foot insistently. I mean, she wants to use my lap as a chair again, doesn't she? Ah, well, I guess that doesn't hurt anything.
思えば最近は忙しくてとんとご無沙汰じゃったからな。
We have been far too busy to spend time together of late. We should ratify this, yes? Sighing inwardly, I step away from the war map and seat myself as requested. If it puts her worry to ease, I guess I don't mind.
では早速。
Well, without further ado, excuse us.
夜分遅くにすみません。
Sorry for barging in so late. Muchika and Ruthie are next to join the parade through my door, rushing into the room.
オシトル様、アンジュ様をお見かけしませんでしたか？
Sir Oster, have you seen Miss Aju anywhere?
ご神女にお姿が見えおられたか。
Her sleeping quarters are abandoned, so we assume. Ah, she was here after all then.
見つかってしまったのじゃ。
Gah! Am I a maid? They found me,
正常。
my liege. Aju rapidly repositions herself, hiding behind me as Muchika and Ruthie approach. The guardian sighs disappointingly. Ah, she's stuck out again.
よかった。ご神女からいなくなったので心配しました。せめて一声かけていただければ。
Thank goodness, you worried us, Your Highness. You should at least say something when you want to go out.
違うのじゃ。ちょっと川屋に寄った帰りにふらーっと足が向いてな。
You are grossly mistaken. I just happened to feel like visiting on my way back from the toilet. That is all.
今は大戦を控えた大事な時。以前口酸っぱくそうお教えしたことをお忘れか。
Now is a very delicate and dangerous time. Your Highness, especially with the approaching battle. Have I not made that clear? Uchiga closes in swiftly, a pleasant smile at odds with her words. As she draws near, however, I can easily spot the twitching vein in her forehead. Ah. Aji all but leaps away at the sight, keeping a healthy distance between herself and Muchika.
あれだけ言うてもまだわかりませぬか。
A missing princess will cause a panic, no matter her intent. Even now, you refuse to listen.
待って、夜が悪かったのじゃ。すぐに戻るのじゃ。じゃから。
Wait! I was at fault. I'll return at once. No, please! This might get out of hand. I should step in. Lady Muichika, I believe that should be enough.
しかしオシトル殿、それでは東宮府代理としての示しというものが。
What? Lord Oster, I have a duty as governess. If she doesn't learn that selfish acts have consequences, she appears to have learned. Spare the rod for once, hmm?
オシトル殿がそこまで言われるのなら、今回は不問としましょう。
If you insist, Lord Oster, I will trust your judgment.
そうか。
Oh, very good. But she is right, my liege. Besides, I won't have you fallen ill on the eve of your great triumph. Go get some sleep.
戻りましょう。オシトル殿もこう言っておられる。
Listen to Lord Oster, child. Let us return.
じゃが、もう少しくらいは。
But just a little bit longer, surely.
なりません。
Bedtime. Now.
アンジュ様、お休みにならないと明日に差し支えます。
Miss Aji, you have to rest, or else you won't won't be in a good shape for tomorrow.
分かっておるが、もう少しだけと言っておるのだ。待て、そうせくな、引っ張るな。
Piff, I am where. This is precisely why I asked for only a little longer. What? What are you doing? Unhand me. I command it. Aji's patient caretakers convey her back to her room, and blessed silence returns to mine. When all this is over, huh? Unexpected emotions bubble up within me. Restlessness, anxiety, and a kind of guilt. I have my own identity, don't I? I thought I did. But no. I'm like this damn mask, an empty shell. Useless until I stole another man's face. I have my memories, but now I feel more lost than ever. Who the hell am I anymore, under all this? Left in privacy, I allow the facade to drop. I mutter my frustration to the empty, lonely room. But at least I forget I'm not alone. I'm never truly alone, as a familiar pair of voices reminds me.
すべては御心のままに。
Act as you wish.
私たちはどこまでも主様の定めた道について行きます。
Whatever path you choose hereafter, Master, whatever roads your feet tread, we shall follow to the end. Yeah. With no answer, I peer out into the dark and see the moon that shines brightly through it. More time to think about this later. For now, all I can do is focus on the task at hand, the reclamation of the heavens.
来光様、朝廷に進駐する諸侯がすべて参集しました。
Lord Raiko, all local militiamen and levies pledged to your service have been gathered. The nobility reserves are here as well.
持参していた者たちの数も含め、ほぼ正確な兵数が把握できたと思われます。
I've made a preliminary estimate of our numbers, including their rivals, but
足りぬか。
it still isn't enough, isn't it?
離反し、賊軍に組みする者が後を絶ちません。
There doesn't seem to be any end to the defectors, my lord. The rebel ranks have swelled to critical mass.
愚かな。稲葉の大橋を落としたことがそれほど気に入らぬか。
The fools. It was the bridge that was my fatal mistake, wasn't it? Knocking down a damn bridge turned them against me. Of all things.
所詮精進に対局は見えぬ。迷信に怯え、我らを不遜となじり、安易な道を選ぶか。
The one thing you forgot, Raiko? You're fighting a civil war. And it's what other people think, not what you think. If you're going to fight this war, you're going to do everything you can to make everyone else like you. Not... Yes, you'll do some dirty things behind the back, but you will not break with the old until you have enough power that you can get away with it. And that's what you thought you had, was enough power. But because you failed in your if you had gotten rid of Oster, you would have had more than enough power to get away with breaking that bridge. But because Oster lived, your power never grew. It's always been going backwards. Cowards and fools all. They never see the grand design. They rather cling to the skirts of a dead god's last, grasping effort of relevance.
だが構わぬ。万人が反旗を翻そうと、己が信じた道を行くのみ。
So be it. If their faith in their Mikado is so strong, let mine in my plans remain twice as powerful.
シチーリアよ。直ちに出陣の準備を。
Sichichiria, ready the troops for emergency combat.
ではまさか。
Is it time, my lord?
こたびの決戦。この来光を自ら打って出ようぞ。
This next battle? No. This last battle. We shall attend personally. Come. We take the field. And there it is. Our long march reaches its destination, and as a wide, grassy vista spreads out before me, I can't help but acknowledge it aloud.
ここがかつて幾多の強者たちがその命運をかけたというオムチャコ平原なんですね。
The Umachucacu Plains, where entire armies have fought and died in defense of their homes.
ヤマトが樹立される以前、幾度となく大陸の歯をめぐって争われた古戦場なのです。
Ancient battleground, where the outcome of countless wars have been decided. Then there's no place more fitting for us to decide the outcome of this one. I pass Nico and Kururo nod, looking out across the plains that seems to go on forever. A gust of wind sweeps past me. This is it. This is where everything will come to a head. This grass has been watered with blood so many times, the smell has practically seeped into it. It quivers in anticipation of its next drink. March our troops to the next ridge. We'll call a halt there.
はい。学部来一拍子。全軍直ちに前方やや右の丘へ向けて進軍せよ。敵に遅れて隙を見せぬよう迅速に。
Yes, sir. Yakamuri, single time. All troops. To the right of that ridge. We can't allow our pursuers to catch up before then. He returns to begin barking orders. Both of us keep wary, nervous eyes on the swarm of soldiers following us out onto the plains.
オシトルの言うように、ここが決戦の場になるみたい。
It's as Aster says. This will be the stage for decisive battle, I think. Yes, I have the feeling Raiko will have chosen this battleground as well. Open space to move, minimal risk of collateral losses. It'll be a battle of wits, an even playing field. Whichever of us can subvert the other's control. What will be your first move, Raiko? Everyone's here then? Prepare to receive your liege. We'll begin soon. At my beckoning, Aji appears before the war council. The gathered commanders' murmuring immediately ceases, lapsing into silence. My liege, all have answered your summons. Very good. Aji gives an extricated nod, then makes a point of looking around at each of the generals and holding eye contact.
こたびの戦を始めるにあたり、まずは皆に心よりの感謝を。
We extend the throne's gratitude to you all for coming to our aid.
世はそなたらがこうして集うてくれたからこそ、今日のこの日があるのじゃと考えておる。
We have all gathered for you all have gathered for our sake, and for this we offer thanks and praise. We see many familiar faces among you, and we are pleased. The response to Aji's words vary. Some nod with pride, others glance away humbly, and still others sit in solemn silence. Their reactions may differ, but in one respect, every attendant is alike. Everyone here is gathered under the same banner, Anju's banner, to fight as one. Quite the impressive sight. This summit of generals is what we've been working toward this whole time, the ultimate fruits of our labors. One of Kurujuru's delegates is the first to speak.
オシトル様、先方は我ら九十里の民にお任せくださいませ。
Lord Aster, I'd like to request that Kurujuru's forces be given the vanguard position, if I may.
私たちが駆けつけたからには、どのような敵でも軽くひねって差し上げますわ。
With us acting as a spear's tip, no enemy would hinder our march. We'll crush them.
姉上、正常の御前であらせられるぞ。
Sister, please, we are in the presence of... Yashima hurries, tries to quiet Sis. But she defies him.
相変わらず気が小さいこと。ここで小さくかしこまるようでは、手柄もおぼつかないわよ。
Oh, please grow a spine. If you can't have courage here, how can you expect to see glory on the field?
手柄など、 正常のおために命を賭すが我らの本懐であろう。
We need no glory. Isn't staking our lives for our liege enough?
まったくもう。お許しくださいね、おしとり様。相変わらず頭の固い身内で。
Goodness. Forgive my brother, Lord Aster. I forgot how hard-headed he can be. Well,
ほら、おしとり様も呆れてらっしゃるわ。
you also have irritated me. See what you have done, Yashima? You've irritated my Lord Aster.
今の呆れは姉上に向けられたものだ。
It's you who's been irritating.
なんですって？
Care to say that again? The previous solemn atmosphere shifts as the siblings suddenly descend into catfighting.
ま、本番前に硬くなるよりかは楽しい方がいいじゃない。
Well, I suppose it's best folks blow off steam while they can. Yeah, way too tense in here.
その通りやな。
Sounds about right.
もしかして、それ私に言ってます？
Should I be reading into that?
お姉様、お兄様。
Sister, brother, please! Ruthie's typical infinite patience appears to run thin at the outburst, and she steps in. He's outfitted better. Nah, nothing wrong with letting kids tussle a bit. Let them enjoy being young, if it lightens things. Genho continues to laugh raucously. A tired-looking Joya kicked her sign at his side.
やれやれ、君は変わらないね。少しは年相応の落ち着きというものを学んだらどうかね。
My, you never change, do you? And here I thought, with age comes wisdom. All rules have expectations, I suppose.
落ち着き払ってふんぞり返ってるだけじゃ何も変わらねえってことを知っているのさ。
Oh, shut it. I just know sitting around trading my lords and my ladies won't get anything done.
まったく。イタク君はあんな大人にならないよう気をつけたまえ。
Hopeless as ever, you old foggy. Do take care not to let yourself end up like this fool when you come into your adherents.
は
Yes. Those two know each other then?
なんでも父上の発注症時代に遊戯を結んだらしいな。
From what I've been told, they kept close company during Father's Pillar General's days. I see, if Genho used to be a pillar himself, I suppose that makes sense.
だいたいお前なんだその話し方。持って回った言い方しやがってよ。
And what's with this ridiculous way you talk now? Worse than my son, all roundabout and fancy.
時の流れが私を一人前の紳士へと育て上げたのだよ。どこかの誰かはまだ子供のままのようだがね。
Time's capricious flow has merely nurtured me into a gentleman, Genho. Sadly, I see the same cannot be said for both of us. For us both.
どっちがそうやっていちいち突っかかってくる方がガキくせえだろうよ。なあ、宗近殿。
Yeah, keep your mouth flapping. Just shows how much hot air he's got in there. Huh, Lady Munichika?
小生には何とも。
I have no strong feelings on the matter.
君はどうしてそうすぐに他人を巻き込みたがるのだろうね。彼女が困っているじゃないか。
Come now. Why are you involving someone entirely unrelated? You've just gone and upset the poor woman for no good reason.
答えも聞かずに何でも決めつけるのは年寄りの悪癖だぜ。
Bah. Sure, just go ahead and jump to conclusions, huh? Bad habit you geezers have. Putting words in people's mouths.
いえ、ですから小生、判断がつきかねると申しますか。
No, I mean I truly don't have an opinion. Munichika forces a weak laugh as she finds herself caught between the bickering men. It never occurred to me, but Munichika's tenure as a pillar was pretty short, wasn't it? She must not want to speak out against her seniors. And I had no idea that these two were so far up each other's craws.
いい年をしてはしゃぎすぎではあるな。しかし、 あの父上があれほど浮かれるとは。
I know he's acting immature for his age, but I don't think I've seen Father this happy in long time, actually. Huh? That's supposed to be happy? Last I checked, Norsey can't read thoughts, but she gives me assurance regardless. Audie, standing next to her, looks upon her father with a similar expression.
そういえばトト様、いつか一番の喧嘩友達が勝手に発注賞をやめたってぼやいてたの。
Now that I think on it, Papa used to grumble about his best friend leaving the ranks of the pillars without saying goodbye.
あとい私は友達だなどと言った覚えはないよ。
Audie, I don't seem to recall using the phrase best friend when I described that event.
どっちかっていうと犬猿の中ってやつだな。都に上がるたびに毎度突っかかってきやがってよ。
Yeah, it's more like constant pain in the ass. Every single time I even bother to show up to the capital, you always get on my case.
それは君の方だろう。
That would be me whose case you constantly got on, my good friend, man. Percy's eyes seemed to soften into a smile at the caustic, if indicible, back and forth.
父上にもああいう人がいたのだな。
So Father had someone like that, too, huh? Aji fails to stifle a laugh at the escalation, and the room abruptly goes quiet. Everyone seems to bluntly remember that they're in Aji's presence. The bickering ceases.
いや、すまんの。決戦を前にこの騒ぎとは随分な余裕じゃと思ってな。つい笑いが溢れてしまったのじゃ。
Apologies. I meant no imposition. We merely found it amusing how relaxed you all seem on the eve of battle. We could not help but laugh.
それでこそ、世も安心して全てを任せられるというものじゃ。
But this is
再度になるが、皆がこの場に集ってくれたこと、誠に心強く思う。
But this is precisely why our trust and faith are best placed in you all. Truly, we are reassured. Thank you. I was wondering if he was going to be here. Stepping in on Aji's behalf, Ozan clears his bassy throat, quiet the war council.
ありゃ、生きるのも大概にせよ。そろそろ軍議を進めにゃ、みんな困っとるじゃろ。
Alrighty, boys and girls, having fun's dandy, but we got a war to plan. At that, Muchika straightens.
これより軍議を始めまする。皆様、この場が姫殿下の御前であることをわきまえ、くれぐれも粗相のなきよう。
We shall begin the session of war council. Remember, you are in Her Highness's presence, and mind your conduct appropriately. The gathered representatives fall silent at that. Having gained the council's collective ears, Muchika turns to me.
オシトル殿、続きを。
Lord Oster, the floor is yours. Thank you, General. Let us begin with the overview and assessment of our situation. Indicate the war map spread out across the table. If each of the generals could briefly recount his preparations and role in the combined army, that would be best.
こたびの戦には、エンナカムイの主兵を除いた全兵力を投入する。それでよかったかな。
Your orders were to deploy, let's see now, the regulars, the patrols, every available soldier save Inuyakamu's National Guard, was it? Irowarji suddenly speaks up, having stayed in plaintive silence since the meeting's start.
すでに兵たちの備え整った旨、この場で報告させていただく。
I'm pleased to report my part in the preparations is complete then. Understood, Your Grace. I acknowledge his report with a short nod. It's information I already received before the council session, of course, but it's important we make sure the entire army is on the same page here. All the more important when it's an army this big. We want as few potential miscommunications as possible.
こちらも問題ねえよ。豪族どもを丸め込むのには苦労したが、その分頭数はピカイチだ。
No staging issues here either. The big shot houses took some convincing, but old Genho drummed up the numbers he wanted in the end.
その軍は父上が指揮する手はずになっている。私は普段通り正常のおそばにいることになるな。
Father will lead the armed detachment from our lands, of course. I'll be staying with our liege.
我ら那国も微力ながらお力添えさせていただきます。兵の約半数はソヤンケクル殿と合流いたします。
We may not be able to contribute the same numbers, but we of Naoko stand prepared to aid you. Fully half of our army is pledged to Lord Soya Kirkurs.
残りの半数はオシトル殿の策の通りに。
The remaining half will move as you instructed them, Lord Oster.
九十里もできうる限りの兵を動かす用意が。
Kajuri's forces are also at your disposal.
兵糧も山ほど用意しておきましたわ。全軍合わせても兵と陥落までは十分に持たせられるはずよ。
We brought a whole heap of provisions too, enough to sustain the entire combined army through a siege.
物資の運搬は任せていいんだったわけね。
We could leave the transfer of goods to your people, right, General?
ああ、もちろんだとも。
Yes, yes, of course.
こちらも全兵力を陸に上げた。以後、船団はすべて不十里からの兵糧の運搬に回している。
I also marched the Marines inland. Skeleton crews, bless them, will man the cargo boats and see to the transporting Kujuru's supplies.
だが、本当にそれでいいのかね?
Which is something I'm trusting I won't regret. Yes, there won't be any need for the main bulk of the Ramada.
それってどういうことの？
What do you mean by that? Both sides will be fully committed to this battle, and the only place a clash of this size can safely happen without collateral damage is
このおむちゃっこ平原だね。
these Omochukia plains.
私たち海軍の出る幕はなしか。
Dry land. Seems I can leave the Armada at the door, Nonsense. The seas may not be the main theater, but we'll still need whatever naval support you can float up the rivers.
ああ、もちろん心得ているとも。安心してくれたまえ。
Ah, I have lighter craft I can send for then. I'll see it done.
ですが、そのまま帝都に侵攻しなくても本当にいいのですか？
And you're certain we shouldn't push our attack up the actual city gates?
しないのけ？
Wait, we're not doing that? Our priority is to reclaim the capital, not conquer it. We can't risk turning it into a battleground. Nor can we make hypocrites of ourselves by risking Her Highness' beloved people in the chaos. No, when we arrive at the capital, it should be to open gates and a victory march.
は
Sigh.
あといまた軍議の時に寝ていたね。
Audie, my dozing, basking sea lioness. I seem to recall you were sounded asleep for most of that meeting.
あ、なんのことかな？
What? That's crazy talk.
いや、口を挟んですまなかったね。続けてくれたまえ。
Forgive the interruption. At any rate, you were about to say something? No, I'd rather have you speak your mind. Any concerns are valid concerns in a conflict of this scale. I take a deep breath, readying myself for the next words. The time for deception is over. Raiko will be thinking along similar lines. On the eve of the great battle, the Empire's hanging in the balance. Underhand tactics would be uncouth. Isn't that right, Raiko? According to our spies, enemy numbers are slightly less than ours. We have that advantage.
しかし相手は傭兵の妙で知られるライコだ。生半可な連携じゃ歯が立たねえぜ。
Nah, not really. It's Raiko we're talking about, isn't it? The man minds runs like a gearworks. We gotta coordinate if we want to keep up. Exactly right. I'm afraid traditional means of battlefield coordination may not suffice, which is why I had sheet music delivered to you all.
おお、例の戦マヌイか。大丈夫だ。ちゃんと頭に叩き込んだぜ。
Sheet? What? Those war drums of yours? Not to worry, boy. I've got it all burned into my noggin. Nico? Uru? Sarana?
はい。
Here, Master.
では皆様、最後の確認なのです。予備の譜面が必要な方は申し出てくださいです。
Consider this our last call. If anyone wishes for additional copies, please speak up now. Nico calls out in a loud voice, and the twins make the rounds with a large stack of sheet music. No one, however, appears to have come unprepared. Aside for Genho's cavalier, empty-handed confidence, the counselors all produce copies.
たく種類が多くてちっとばかり面倒だったぞ。
But you know, there were a couple tricky ones. Took me a while to get it all down pat. I'm sure you already heard it now, but this sheet music will be our means of coordination. We will deploy Gekamurka drummers. In order to keep up with Raiko's tactics, commands will be relayed via complex coded drum beats.
陣形の譜面までありますからな。これならば細やかに兵を動かせましょう。
What's up, big doggy? There are even beats for specific formations. With this, we should be able to move large amounts of troops very quickly.
さすがはオシトル様。ここまでのものは初めてです。
You're a big girl, aren't you? You're a big girl. It's amazing, Lord Oster. I've never seen anything quite this system of yours. You've all memorized them as well?
ココポにも覚えてもらいました。
Yes, I even taught some to Kokopo.
もう厄介だったが、なんとかなりそうじゃない。
Took me forever. What? I know your mama left. Took me forever, but I think I got it, yeah?
戦場で音を聞き間違えないかだけが心配ですね。
It's a little worrying. Some of these beats are fairly similar. We might mishear commands.
キュール、父ちゃん、任せろ。もう覚えたし、俺は耳もいいぞ。
Hey, Kuru. Dad, you can leave it to me. I'm a really good listener. What do these three?
さすがはシノノン。こういったのが得意だったな。
That's my Shion. You always did keep your wits about you, yeah?
キュール、褒めてもいいぞ。
Uh-huh. Hey, Kuru, you should praise me too.
う
Uh-oh. I know why she's having a hard time. She's always had a hard time with studying. Actually, all three of them. They've always had hard time studying, hasn't it? She's so war crazy. She barely ever studies. She is such a much of a ditz. She doesn't study much. She's been forced to study so much that she tries to get out of it a lot. This is almost like the triplet teenage dropouts. I would like all you to know each beat by heart, without fail. Well, that ought to be everything. Rest is up to the princesses. Princess. Audrey seems to gather in my tent without need for words. Stepping forward, she looks around at her vassals and then takes a deep, bracing breath.
今、我らは決戦の時を迎えた。新たな時代、新たなヤマトを生み落とすための決戦の時を。
The time to end this war has finally arrived. Come tomorrow, we shall know for once and all whom Yamato truly belongs.
これは世のわがままじゃ。じゃが、民を思うこの心に偽りはない。
That this schism came about from our own selfishness and inexperience. We accept this, but so too do we accept other people's love and support.
そなたらのこれまでの働きに報いるためにも、そして何よりヤマトの民のために、今ひとたび力を貸してほしいのじゃ。
If we are to repay this debt of loyalty, we must humbly ask your aid one last time. Mikado calls upon you. Will you answer us? Aji's please echoes throughout and gathers lords and owls bow their heads, giving their solemn assent.
式伝達に滞りは見られません。この戦、どう見ますか?
It seems the drum system is working. That's a relief. How do you figure it improves our chances for battle, brother? Samakuru's anxiety seems to have dissipated on seeing the army moving as the drums dedicated. He looks over to me, eyes questioning. Well, with this speed and level of adaptability, this may actually put us on a par with Raiko's special tactics.
はい。姫殿下の御ためにも必ず帝都を取り戻しましょう。
Yes, I believe so too. With this, we'll be sure to win. Hiro nods, grinning broadly. I don't dare to tell him that even this may not be enough. Against Raiko the Sage, a single mistake could be all he needs to exploit. Briefly confirming our army position, I glance across the divide. Raiko's banners catch the light where it stands in the enemy camp, fluttering in the breeze. So he's attending personally. Then he knows as well as we do that this battle is crucial.
さて、今こそ最後の舞台の幕を上げる頃合いだ。一切滞りないな。
The curtain rises near. Is the stage set? Raiko stands overlooking the expanse between the camps. A keen, mirthless smile splitting his face. His posture exudes anticipation.
いつでもすでに手はずは整っております。
We can launch an attack at any moment, my lord. Everything is ready. At Chiria's reply, Raiko's predatory smile widens.
ならば開幕するとしようか。おしとりよ。我らがその雌雄を決するにふさわしいこの舞台よ。
Then let us begin, Aster. Let the curtain be raised on this stage of ours. Now, the time has come. Now, we prove our strength, our heart, and our loyalty to our liege. I raise my voice so that all may hear, and signal the grand march forward. From here, there can be no turning back. All this cavalry, this is just pure cavalry. This battle is for our liege, for Yamato, and for all who dwell within it. All troops, forward!
さあ、我が軍勢よ。その進化を奴らに見せつけてやるがいい。
Now, my soldiers, show our enemies the full military might of this empire. The call to arms rings out on either side of the Umachakaro plains, soon to be watered with blood. Azan, why is why are they doing a pure cavalry? This is what I'm just somewhat wondering. There should be infantry and everything. The main force is given the go. Singo, come on, you layabouts. We got a job to do.
さあ、始まったわよ。ここは一つルルティエにいいところ見せなくっちゃね。
It finally begins. I'll have to make sure Ruthie sees me at my best.
それはその通りだが、姉上、以前の一気がけのような無茶はくれぐれも自重されよ。
That's fine and all, but please, just be careful. Don't go charging it on your own.
わかってるわよ。それよりあなたの方こそこちらの動きに遅れないようになさい。
What am I? A greenhorn? I know. Just do your best to keep up.
言われるまでも。では、
Needn't tell me twice. Now then.
さて、それじゃあ始めましょうか。
Now, to the fray! There. All that cavalry.
まさか今頃になって再び帝の下で弓を取ることになるなんてな。
Didn't know I'd ever dust this old bull off again. Someone's wearing the big Mikado hat says jump, and I ask how high. Huh?
しかも同じ戦場にはまだまだ頼りねえと思ってた娘と息子がいるときた。
And now I'm fighting.
どう転ぶかわからねえもんだな。
And now I'm fighting shoulder to shoulder with my own kids. Little scramps just had to go and grow up on me.
せっかくだ。エベンクルガの戦いってもんをしっかりあいつらに見せてやんねえとな。
There must be massive herds of Whoppers all over the country. Be able to raise armies of this large of Whopper cavalry. Can't let the youngsters outshine me now. It's as good a time as any to show those two how Everkurgans really fight.
どうやら始まるようだね。
Seems it's time for us to get moving. Yes.
そう緊張することはない。私たちはこれまでのように戦い、これまでと同じように勝利すればいいのだ。
All right there, Itek. You don't have to be so nervous, you know. We've done this sort of thing once or twice before.
しかし、生まれて初めての大戦ですから。ソヤンケクル殿はどうしてそんなに落ち着いていられるのですか？
But never at this scale. This is the first time I've ever fought in a battle this huge. How can you stay so calm, Lord Soya Kicker?
何？大したことではないよ。私は私のできること、できないことをよく知っているだけさ。
Listen here, lad.
それに、
Listen here, lad. At my age, you learn to stop worrying about what's not under your control. I know what I can and can't expect power over.
娘が選んだ男の差配だ。信じて任せるのが父親というものだろう。
I'm under another man's command. A man my daughter chose to pledge herself to, no less. As a father and a soldier, all I can do is trust his orders.
はい、そうですね。
I see. I understand, my lord.
では、行こうか。
Good. Then let us be about it. Drive them back. Open both flanks and crush them between you.
はい、三拍子。
Understood. Triple time, men. The little clash ends in our favor, thanks to our superior numbers. And that being said, I don't think Riker's going to take that line down. What kind of traps has he laid for us?
さすがに数で勝る分、正面からの削り合いでは向こうに分があるか。
Humph. The first exchange goes to you, Aster, as expected.
だが、戦場の趨勢を決めるのは何も駒の数だけではない。
But the gap in numbers has been accounted for. It matters not how many pawns take the field. Far more important is how they ebb and flow.
各人に伝達、術式を発動せよ。
Time has come. Activate the spell network. Establish contact with all end node units.
承知しました。
At once, my lord.
さあ、我が速さについてこられるか。おしとり。
Now, will you be able to keep up with true battlefield supremacy, Aster? I wonder.
敵陣突破！このまま押し込む！
The enemy ranks are breached. Form a wedge and widen the gap. Go! Ah, excellent. Seems we seized the advantage early on.
全軍ここで敵を逃すな。立て直しの時間を与えず、このまま。
Then let's keep it that way. Don't give them time to regroup. Keep them off balance and... No, Itek, belay that. What?
まさか伏兵か。
Oh,
このままではゴ詰めに被害が。
what? An ambush? The rear guard is completely exposed. Halt the advance. We stand and fight these fools off our back. How? How are they able to move so many troops so quickly? Raiko must have some secret. Teary-eye. Good. Now keep them pinned. As long as we keep the edge in numbers, they'll have to take risk and overstun to get to us. Ha! See? Knew you'd try it. There, gotcha. Lord Genho, urgent message. The enemy formation has pushed against our flank. What? Bah, where'd that damn Soya kick her? He's supposed to be watching our flank. What's happening over there? Son of a... Men, we're too exposed here. Everyone, keep your heads down, and we'll disengage quick. What? The enemy's pulling back already? Just yanked my chains some more creeps. That unit, those were just small fry, but they were moving like they had a special ops commander on point. But there's no commander in sight. What in blazes is going on? Alright, boys and girls, spread the flanks and close in. We'll trap them in a pincer strike. Haha, we'll smash them with this. Understood. All troops, don't let a single man through. Such child's play. We could be fighting this battle all on our own. Why are they so... Ah! Huh? Sister, what's going on? With me, everyone. We'll head for Sister's unit and regroup. What do you think you're doing? If we break right now, see the enemy regroup already. Something funny's going on. We ain't got as many cards as we thought. No one's going in too deep. You all here? Yes, such a risk would be unwise. It's just
ええ、ちょっと気になるわね。本陣に変打を。
unnerving. We need to adjust. Send the word along to the command post.
以上が各軍からの報告です。
That'll be the general reports coming in. I see. We appear to be locked in a stalemate, or no, we're being pushed back, if only just.
なんだか敵の動きが想定よりもずっと早いかな。
This enemy is responding.
こちらの動きを読んでいるみたい。
This enemy is responding too quickly for my taste, I think. It's like they can read our every move. More like they can read each other. Information is passing between groups of soldiers at lightning speed, allowing them just on the fly. I've done as much as I can to maximize the speeds of our own communications, but somehow Raiko still has the upper hand there.
さらに巧みな傭兵にも手を焼かされているとの話。このままでも戦線を保つ分には問題ないが。
Our soldiers' morale is steadily dropping, as well. None of them have been trained to deal with this kind of tactic. But if we hold the line, I'd rather not give Raiko the pleasure of stalling us. The less control we give him, the better. He's almost certainly has more tricks in store.
私たちが動けば今ならまだ押し返せるんじゃないか。
Maybe we can rally with a strong enough push.
そうやえ。うちらが出張ればちょっとくらいの差なんてすぐにひっくり返せる。
Yeah, if we all head out there and give them a real good thrashing, that would be enough to turn the things around, right?
ですが、それでは本陣が手薄になるのです。
Leaving the main force unsupported would be unfavorable at best.
それは
Well, yes, that would be... Nico's correct. Deploying the command squad, that's us, by the way, would be a gamble at this stage, but an effective one.
仕掛けるんだ。
So, we are gonna attack, or... Yes, if we lose momentum now, Raiko will be able to patiently whittle us down, and every soldier counts when our numbers are so close. Your Grace, may I trust command here to you?
引き受けよう。こちらから見える状況も折を見て戦マヌイで知らせるとしよう。
Yes.
構わないかね。
Yes, I'll hold things down for you. If anything significant develops, I'll use the drummers to signal. That would be best. Thank you. Now, I'll take the command squad and aid each of the generals as best I'm able. Something happened. Report.
背後からの奇襲です。何者かがシュトウライを狙って火を。
It's a surprise attack, Your Grace. Someone set fire to the Shidora's convoys. The supplies are... fire. A fire spell. Could it be... Maru? Maru forces conceal themselves in the tree lines, using the terrain of the Amochuko Plains to their tactical advantage. Sentries watches Premier with bated breath, and from the center of the group, voices raise. Report. Or rather, one voice, relayed across the Empire v. the Terii. The man given orders to the group by hand signal, Maru, pauses to quietly answer.
今まさに敵陣背後への奇襲を終えて身を隠したところでおじゃる。
As until shadow stuff are we, my lord, an ambush upon their rear shift has been laid, and unseen we wait to deal the second stroke. And how goes the offensive?
シュトウライを2、3焼いてきたでおじゃるよ。兵糧全滅とまではいかなくとも、奴らは慌てているでおじゃろうな。
Only cinders does remain of 2 Shirai convoys, and soon a third shall follow. This is more morale than supplies our labors undo. But it's enough.
それは上々。良いのか、おしとる。 そのままではすぐに干上がるぞ。
All progressing in line with our timetable, then. What will you do now, I wonder, Aster? Will you simply starve to death? Raiko allows himself a small, reserved chuckle, then quite quickly restores his serious tone.
引き続きそちらの指揮は貴様に任せる。
You will retain your command position as we've discussed. I'm expecting good things.
御意。
So be it.
では俺は貴様がオシュトルの首を持ってくるのを本陣で待つとしよう。期待しているぞ。
You have
マ
your
ロよ。
you have your orders. When your detachment returns to the forward base, I'll be waiting there for you to deliver me Aster's head. That will be all. With that, the teary-eye link is broken. Mara remains in passive silence for a time.
言われるまでもなし。決着を必ずマロの手でつけてみせるでおじゃる。
Those need not remind me. Faith, with these two hands shall I end this farce, and though reminders may go hang for all the good they do unto me. Closes his eyes for a moment in expiration thought. Maru mutters to himself. When they open again, they are steady, hard, and calculating.
そろそろ動くでおじゃる。皆の者、準備は良いな。
We move. Least discovered unmake us. You men, are you ready to hear? Sir.
オシュトル。たとえマロの命に変えてでも、必ずこの手で。
Aster, prepare, for the executioner comes.
第三死闘来もやられました。このまま兵糧を消耗し続ければ今の戦況を保てなくなります。
The Shiditora 3rd Division's been hit. If we keep losing supplies like this, we're doomed. Hiru's disheartened voice echoes through the camp. As I look around, I can tell he's voicing everyone's thought. The troops are panicking. Right on the heels of the 5th Division. 3rd too now, huh?
よほど綿密に地形を調査したみたい。火の勢いも全然弱まらない。
They mapped this region well, I think. That fire they set hasn't weakened at all. It's been put right where it'll burn longest. The position's a little too familiar. Unless I miss my guess, that's probably...
兄様。
Your brother? Maru. Send the word along the rear guard. They should keep their eyes open and send a message as soon as they detect movement. They are not to engage.
追っかけないのけ？敵は少ないし、みんなで潰せばそれでおしまい。
We're not going to pursue? We could probably mop them up right quick, you know. There aren't that many of them.
いや、私もオシトルに賛成だ。下手に追ったところで見失ってしまえば意味がない。
No, Oster is right. If they know the territory better, they'll more likely to outrun us and set up somewhere they can catch us off guard.
でも、このまま放っておくわけにもいかないえ。
But we can't just let them do as they damn well please, right? Dewey gave chase. We need more info before we rush in blindly. We need to see what the enemy's really after here. Norcy, you're a guerrilla expert. Do you think you could discern their route?
任せておけ。我らに小勢での奇襲を仕掛けることがどれほど愚かか敵に教えてやるとするさ。
Leave it to me. I'll show them just how foolish they were trying to ambush us like that. Very good. I'll leave His Grace in command here, then. Be ready to depart soon.
しかし、賞賛はあるのかね。
Eh?
相手は未だ姿も見えぬとの報告だが。
Are you certain? This enemy seems slippery, does he not? I'm confident Norcy will be able to track him. All we need to do is let her lead us to him, and my routine and I will handle the rest. And if the enemy tactician really is Maru, I'm going to be his primary target anyways. Better we do this where his magic can't hurt bystanders. I have to keep my thoughts to myself, though I nod firmly.
どうやら無用な心配だったか。ならば、そなたらが戻るまで指揮を預かろう。
Then it appears my worries are unfounded. As you wish. I'll take command until you return. Thank you. I gave command over to Irawaji with as fearless a smile as I could muster, then prepared to set out after Maru. Cone, I have something I'd like you to prepare for us if you can.
私に
Me? I lean in and whisper my request into Gone's ear. She slowly raises a tapered eyebrow.
用意はできると思うけど、それを何に使うのかな。
I should have the ingredients in my apothecary kit, but I need to know what you tend to use something like that for first, I think. I can't say I tend to use it at all, but it pays to be safe. Can you do it or can't you?
わかった。すぐに用意する。
Yes, I'll go and start putting it together now. Cone nods and swiftly begins her preparations. It'd be best if we don't have to fall back on it. More options are better than none. I turn my thoughts inward as I survey the plains, allowing my eyes to be drawn from tree to tree, rock to rock. Now, where have you gone, Maru?
動きが変わったでおじゃるな。
Eh? Hold. A career wind thus herald. Their movements are changing. A sudden uneasy comes over Maru, and he quickly orders his troop back into the shadows, calling off an attack. The Shidorara have adjusted their route of travel, throwing his calculations off. His expression hardens as he watches, reevaluating.
守りが固いのは当然。しかし、あまりにも守りに傾きすぎているでおじゃる。それに、気になる点がもう一つ。
Aye. There's this. The highest alert. Only natural this, but is their escort not strange in its heaviness? Far from standard, methinks. Maru reflects on his most recent contact by Teary-Eye.
お一人の陣が戦線を帝都側に強引に押し込んでいるでおじゃる。そんなことをして一体何になるでおじゃるか。
In armed company, Oster's band until the capital does further and further push themselves. But to what end?
無論、マロの兵糧攻めが効いてきたとも取れるでおじゃる。しかし、
Sure they
この動きはオシュトルにしてはあまりにもお粗末。
surely they want
まさか。
surely they want for provisions is nothing so great that it doesn't warrant such heedless Oh zounds! Scatter! We are undone! Suddenly snapping upright in realization, Maru begins to order a retreat. To the soldiers' confusion, they sluggishly start to obey. Just as an arrow buries itself in the tree Maru has been leading against not a few moments before.
いたぞ。あそこだ。
There they are, over there. Yeep!
玄宝殿からの報告です。戦線の再構築完了せい。
Report from Lord Genho. He's managed to pull the front line back into formation. Good. Everyone, with me. We engage the enemy now. On hearing Narcy and Kuru's report, I give the order, not taking it back now. We turn our whoppers toward Maru's group and begin the ride. Hard.
マロたちを本陣から切り離したでおじゃるか。
A fiendish ploy, Faith. This wouldn't think to cut off my escape. I wouldn't take you so lightly that I just let you have a whole army to yourself, Maru. You played with cards I dealt you. And fair play. Maru screams, his face twists in rage at this development. I answer a calm voice as I can muster. But Maru's soldiers, under interest in our conversation, give their retort in the form of a volley of arrows. Oh, jeez. Okay, so, looks like he's got some Kuriri with him, yeah? Everyone, stay sharp. Move all twisty so they can't draw a bead.
それだけじゃないぞ。なんだ、このムズムズする感じは。
That's not all, either. Is everyone else feeling this? Like my body's slowing down?
包まれてる。
A presence pervades.
この辺り一帯が特殊な力で覆われています。
This area appears to be bathed in powerful thematic energies.
おそらくはライコーのジュスソライ。奴ら、こちらの力を削ぐ厄介な術を使う。早めに倒さねば。
Raiko's Juzasoria. No doubt, mages who wield the power to sap others' strength and vitality. We must be careful of them. But then we have to deal with them first.
一旦引くでおじゃるよ。
Sound the retreat. We fall back. Maru gives the order, and his unit begins to obey with pinpoint precision, receding into the shadows as though part of them.
連度では向こうが上だ。このまま見失えばまた巻かれるぞ。
Hey, we can't lose sight of them. Those are firmly trained troops. They'll know how to lose us on terrain like this. Dorsey's warning, however, is in vain. By the time she even finishes speaking, Maru and his men are in the wind. They mean to hide themselves amongst the trees.
追いますか。
Do we pursue? Obviously, just...
ただ闇雲に追ったのでは先ほどの二の舞だな。何か相手の足を止める手があれば。
We need to plan this time around. Some way to stall them. Otherwise, we're just gonna see a repeat of what happened here.
小生とアトゥイ殿が先んじて切り込めば抑えられると思うが。
I may be able to hold a forward position if Lady Audie agrees to coordinate with me. It feels safer deploying with her at my back. That's the idea, but no. This is Maru we're talking about. Brute forcing a foothold Holt runs the risk of tripping one of his countermeasures. That said, we can't exactly let the guy off the hook at this point. If only we could circle him somehow. Trap the trapper in turn.
ねえ猫ね。この辺って確か崖があったよね。
Hey, Nico. Didn't we see a cliff on our way into this area?
はいなのです。あの木立の反対側に切り立った壁面があるはずなのです。
Yes, the tree line stops just short of a nearby cliffside. Then we can try to corral them in that direction. Half the unit will remain here. The rest of you, with me. We'll box them in against that cliff. Everyone, stay on high alert. We don't know where the ambush might come from. Barking orders, I lead my soldiers into the thicket, hoping desperately that I know what I'm doing. The tree do eventually part into a clearing. An enormous bluff rises before us, where Maru waits, precisely where we hoped he'd be.
やはり来たでおじゃるな。
It's naughty of thee to make me wait so. Maru, there's nowhere left to run. Surrender to us, and lay down your arms, and you'll be treated with dignity. I'll only ask once more. Surrender, Maru. You and I have a lot to talk about. At that, the mask of hatred returns to Maru's face, and he looks at me with a disgusted sneer.
今さら何を伝えるでおじゃるか。
And pray tell, what have we to speak of? Oh, the terror eyes there. A cynical grin spreads across his face. Don't make this worse than it has to be. You're cornered and surrounded. Please. Maru smiles self-assuredly.
いいな。
Alas,
罠にはまるとはこういう状況を言うのでおじゃるよ。
more grave and mistaken assumption mine ears has seldom heard. They'll think themselves in control. Look here and think again. Maru raises his arm in a thematic gesture, and all at once white-hot flames spring from the earth around us. This is
これぞ家計の真骨頂でおじゃる。
the shape of fire's bite, faith, were it ever to have such, until thick of flame Maru gathereth life and teeth. The flames twist and bend as though alive, dancing tongues of flat fire lashing out at us, snapping and hissing with eerie likeness to serpents. We're penned in. Everyone, group up in the center.
はややせっかく暴れるつもりやったのにいけずやな。
Spoil sport. Here I thought I was going to get a chance to let loose.
炎が相手じゃ刀では返しようがないじゃない。
Hey, gang, you know I can't hit these with my sword, yeah?
古典的ですが確実な手ですね。
A literal ring of fire. Clenched, perhaps, but entirely effective.
どうせオシトル。
What do we do now, Oster? Ah. Mara watches on with that gleeful, predatory smile, delighted in watching us scramble under his gaze.
まさか逃げ道があるとでも思ってるでおじゃるか。
Didn't those things escape an option? As if controlled by his very words, the wall of snake and flames rapidly begins to close in.
お一人でその一味が炎に焼き尽くされてゆく様をマルはゆっくりと見物させてもらうでおじゃるよ。
Oh, for a book and sweetest liquors, I do wish to lodge and relax while I watch your ash smolder. He uses himself as bait. Clever. Gave us a target we couldn't resist and lure us right in. I think through my options as the fire continues to advance, and the answer makes itself clear. Cone, if you brought it, use it now.
例のものってさっき作ったこれ？
It? You mean the thing you made me make earlier? Yes.
嫌な予感しかしないけど、炎に巻かれるよりはマシなのかな。
I have a bad feeling about this, but I suppose it's better than burning alive in the middle of the woods. I'll explain as we go. Kuru. Go. Kuru? Here. Take this and attach it to an arrow. Make sure it's secure and wait for my signal.
わかりました。
Understood. Lady Munichika, I'll need your help as well.
小生でお役に立てるね。
Merely ask. The guardian will aid you. Good, good. Which leaves
ここ
at your side.
何なりとお申し付けください。
What our master's wishes, we wreck. Twins answer as though able to tell I was about to call on them, which, honestly, they probably could.
手も足も出ないでおじゃるか。
Oh, ho, 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 ho. What will those do? Behind the passive wall of flame, a voice rife with mad joy complements the crackle of sparks.
ついにやったでおじゃる。マルはこの手で海賊を一人は討ち取ったでおじゃ。
This is done, oh, for once and for all. I've done it. The traitor Oster lies dead, and by my hit, now fire. Hey. Twang of taut bone strings sounds from within the inferno, and from its belly an arrow speeds in desperate flight.
仕向いるつもりでおじゃるか。往生際が悪い。
So, a company of me you would make in the next world. Alas, no plans have I thought. The project, though, however, is not aimed at Maru. Nothing so terrestrial.
なぜ真上に。
Hey, whatever for does those fire up? Everyone get down! A heartbeat passes between the loosing of the arrow, all of us within the flames dropping to the dirt, and then... Kaboom! The explosion rocks the sky above us.
自爆したでおじゃるか。
What? An explosion and self-inflicted? Hot violet wind and a wave of pressure staggers Maru, setting his ears ringing.
お一人ともあろう者が苦しまずに済む方を選んだでおじゃるか。
You would take your own lives, those, rather than face the torrent of flames?
それともマルの手にかかって死ぬつもりはないということか。
You would deny me my prize?
卑怯者にふさわしい卑怯な最後でおじゃるな。
Cowardice till the very end.
白殿見ているでおじゃるか。白殿の胸今ここにマルが晴らしたでおじゃる。
Didn't you see, Master Haku? Vengeance is thine. Vengeance is thine. Oh, Master Haku. Our reveals, however, are short-lived. As the smoke begins to clear, it became apparent. The raging fire has been extinguished.
どういうことでおじゃるか。なぜ炎が。
What trickery is this? The flame, it... As he watches it on in disbelief, a shadow pulls itself from the ground to defiantly stand. The twins made a shield around everyone. Oster! Is everyone alright?
なぜ 何をしたでおじゃる。
What's the don't do? Whatever for are they alive? Aren't you a scholar? High winds can fan a flame, but too much air pressure can kill it just as easily. He who controls the wind controls the fire. It's not in burning things that fire has power, it's how you determine where it starts and ends.
爆風で炎を消したと。それでは炎は消えても無事では済まぬでおじゃる。
Ill faith, this is artwork, the combat of flame with flame. But such a blast could ill have left the lot of you unscathed.
確かに無事ではなかったし、ちょっと危なかったかな。
I mean, we didn't totally weather it. I didn't, at least. I got a few scrapes, I think. It was a risk. As if a cue, the others begin to stand.
はいでも信じていたです。
Yes, I had faith it would work. The plan, scientifically grounded, was entirely sound.
アンジュ様ご無事ですか？
Princess Aju? Are you alright?
これ好きのこと、胸近のしごきを思えば軽いものよ。
I am uninjured. Munachika has visited worse on me in training sessions.
まあ、皆さんお顔がすすだらけですよ。
Oh dear, the dirt stains.
そんなこと言ってる場合かな。
This really isn't the time for Merle.
なんとか守りおせたか。
Thank goodness I was able to shield everyone in time.
守った。
You did well.
呪法をかける間、攻撃がなかったので集中できました。
We were able to concentrate on our spell thanks to your protection, General.
悪ルカがあれば皆に傷を負わさずに済んだんだ。
Had I my Akaruka, none of you would have been hurt at all. I apologize. No, Munachika, no apologies. The plan went off just fine, thanks to you.
そういうことでおじゃるか。
Oh, I see now. Just as the pressure from the explosion snuffed out the flames, I had Lady Munachika raise her barrier and ordered the twins to strengthen it.
まさか小生の力をこのような形で使うとはな。
An unorthodox application of my powers, perhaps, but it seems to have been effective. We sustained some injuries, but that's better than being cooked alive, yes?
そのような捨て身の手を。
Upon so thin a gambit, you would risk your very lives. Aro stands shocked, eyes widening.
多感な見物を決め込み、一気火星に攻めなかった。不覚でおじゃる。
My own incompetence is to blame. With dramatics, I ought to have the suspense and finish you as wounded beasts at hunting time. Enough. Your ploy failed. As I call out to Maru, I can't help but notice his behaving oddly.
所詮マルはオシトルにはかなわないと。オシトルが栄え、マルは滅びるべきだと。
Oster, art thou my better, after all? Does the heavens tease and taunt me with thee? Here, Maru, is enemy though my set near best. Oster, 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 Oster! He repeats the symbol frantically, and a fire comes alight somewhere in his eyes.
いいな、まだでおじゃる。たとえ万策ついえようとも、この命ある限り、勝負はまだついていないでおじゃる。
No, before the end, ere all is lost and this flame yet burns in my breast, I say thee nay! His plan may have backfired, but Maruto's fighting spirit is far from broken. I steel myself, holding my fan at the ready. Then let's settle this right now, Maru. Oster! And then it's the battle. Defeat Maru or defeat all enemies. I think this is where we get a diversion in story. This is the first time we ever get a choice between the two. And I'm thinking if we defeat all enemies, something different will happen in the story. But that will have to be for next time. Which will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. US Central Time. We will pick up where we left off at the Battle of Revenge Undying. I hope to see you again then. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. Please hit the follow button if you did to receive notifications when I go live. As I said, it'll be 11 a.m. US Central Time once more, where we pick up Utawarerumono Mask of Truth. We are getting closer and closer to the end. Still, I think it's going to be a little while. Sometime this week, I think we'll be done. Don't know when, though. But I hope to see you again tomorrow. If not, good day and goodbye.